Yeah. Before, right, we're now recording. Now tell us about XP in case Andy ever watches this.
Okay. So I've just, I can see Bill is on there, but I'm not sure if he's on. Or if he's just kind of like in between, maybe moving. But I've just shared a screen there that's got training and experience
Gotcha.
with XP. You've got 2 XP. Now there's a bit of kind of contradiction here because at one point it says you must spend them immediately and you can't hold them in a pool. But later on, like to increase the skill
Yeah.
from say 3 to 4, it says 8 XP. Well,
Yeah.
there's no way you're going to get 8 XP.
And if you want to increase characteristics, it's a vast amount.
Yeah,
so you could say, I want to increase my characteristic, and you're like, fine, you spent that 2,
yeah,
but you won't get the bonus until you spent all 8 on that.
Maybe yeah, and you can never recover those 2 to spend elsewhere.
Phil. This is why you're here.
Maybe they want the DM to give us 8 XP at a time.
Right. Yeah, it does say travellers should get 2 to 5 XP per hour. I'm sure it says that in there.
2 to 5 XP per hour. Yeah, he says he's here, he's just working out microphone issues. So basically you've got 2 XP. And you should put these on your character sheets.
Yep.
Where it says on info.
Yeah.
So you can put, and I'll just do Bill while he does his.
He's just getting his mic sorted out.
2 XP.
You've just made me remember something.
Through treasure ship. And it's so I've put that on Bill's character sheet there. Experience points. He's already spent some. Got 2 XP for halfway through the treasure ship.
Yeah.
Not basically. He's not yet spent yet.
I've just realised, and I've never been happier to see 2 words in my life. Under experience points, I still have a single boon I have not yet spent.
Yeah.
Which I keep forgetting.
Mickey's actually already got a point, so he's now got 3 points.
Yeah, I think Mickey didn't spend all of his last time, which we were allowed to do. GM's call.
Well, you can't hold them. That's the whole point. He's lost it.
So you could do whatever the GM says you can do.
I think we'll just hand wave it as long as it's kind of.
As long as it's not Andy.
Kind of relevant.
Within reason.
Yes, within reason.
Can I spend my XP?
Yeah.
Or you're just going to say, no, you can't spend it. You just earn it.
No, you've got it. Yeah. I refuse to let you level anything up.
Yeah, it's like crypto.
It's not worth. Yeah, it's worth theoretical amount, but you can't actually redeem it.
Yeah.
So I thought it would make sense if Calistinius got some leadership skill, seeing that he's now in charge and he doesn't have that skill at the moment. So I think it would make sense lore-wise, and it would be sensible as useful as well going forward as a thing that I could do. So
I agree with that, mate.
Can I turn my XP into leadership?
Yeah, so for 2 points, 2 XP points, you can take leadership to 0, then to 1.
Sounds good.
Can't you? So there is a leadership skill on the skill. Do you want me to drag it over, or
Can you drag it over, and then I'll put 2 XP.
Items.
Plus, you'll get your edgy or imp bonus on it as well, Phil. That'll be quite cool. Because I think you've got a good edgy, haven't you?
Got good edgy. You've got good society as well. So
that's going to be handy.
So you've now got leadership 1.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
I was thinking.
I'm happy if you save it. To be fair,
well,
I think.
I thank you for that, my friend, because that would be cool. But I also think, character. I'm trying to think of what Dax has done in the interval that we've earned XP. Because last time we earned XP was when we were doing the base up, and we spent some of that on some of the things we've done as part of that base campaign. And I spent mine actually when we renovated Dark Knight Base on taking leadership to 0. But I think the thing that Dax has done most of since we've been on Aranasea has probably been using something like Persuade, because he's been chatting people up in Mackey's, bringing them back to Madame Zaffy's, trying to get Hanshaw at ease. So he's quite good with streetwise and recon and stuff. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I had sort of forgotten that as a skill. But I've got Persuade at 1. I could spend 2 points to take it up to 2. And he started out as sort of a streetwise pirate who would get what he wanted through contacts. But since being more of a ship captain, I think he's moved into a weirdly, he's like a really unusual, unlikely diplomat. So I think I would spend my 2 points to take Persuade up to 2.
Okay. So do you want to do that yourself?
I will do that, thank you, buddy. Done.
Okay. Got Dr. Zim, any XP you want to spend?
Yes, please. Science Xenealogy from 0 to 1.
So that'll be 1 point.
Yep.
So I'll do that. Do you want me to do that for you, or are you happy to do it?
Yeah, cheers, mate. That'd be cool.
Okay.
And then
you've got a chip as well that adds a bonus, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm covering bats. No, and I'm role playing in it. So the next thing I would like to spend a point on, this is where I'm trying to decide, is I was going to go for investigate, because I've tried, but I'm thinking that I might put a point in deception, because I've been doing a lot of, I'm not really a doctor of medicine, I'm not, do you know what I mean? So I think I might do deception one.
Okay, I'll do that for you.
And that's me.
Okay. Okay, nice. And we'll do Bill later. Bill, can you hear us? Mickey, can you hear us?
I think he said he could hear us, but he was trying to sort his mic
At least
out.
some sort of leadership ability will be helpful.
Yeah.
He says he can hear us, just working out mic issues. I suppose, are you on? He's on Foundry, so I presume he can see us. Okay, grand.
Well, you're very... It sounds like your mic isn't plugged in, or you're using a different mic.
Probably do some fucking right, because the computer's been left switched on for...
That sounds better.
It's on end.
That sounds better.
I will dick around with it again in a minute, but I was just going to say further experience. I think with Billem's sort of time working in the engineering area, I think sort of something bringing up one of the engineering skills. So you'll have to forgive me. I can't remember what we've got. I mean,
so you've got
thing, but I don't know if there are others as well that maybe I could get.
You've got jump drive, life support. There's maneuver drive, and there's power.
Power.
Maybe how many could I get? Could I put? Is it like to take jump drive up to 2 would cost 2, and then I could use the other one on power or something?
Yes.
Can I do that? If you could
Yeah.
drive for me, that would be appreciated. I think that's probably most fluffy. And the jump drive one, let's face it, has caused us to come a cropper in the past. So
yeah. Okay, so you've all got your XP. Okay, cool. Nice one. So there's that. Seeing as I was going to do the bit of the review of last week, but what I thought I might do is, considering we were talking about Warhammer 40k, I would do a little. I would do the library data.
Yeah.
And basically our sponsors this week. And you'll see behind me the logo.
I was going to raise a point of that.
Yeah, I'm going to share you this week's sponsors: Moloch Systems and Carnot Leisure. Okay, so
it's my kind of holiday park.
Think of this now. Think of this. Picture an advert on the dark web that's kind of hacked into the local, or maybe a hacker has kind of like watching this advert on a terminal in an internet cafe somewhere. Or basically, the Trojan Reach pirate stream, banned on 672 worlds. This bandwidth hacked from the Glorious Empire's military broadcast network. Get this logo. This is the logo you see sort of burns in. Caribris trademark, playtime. The music comes in. It's like like Halloween. Boom, 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 boom. But like a brutalist synthy wave, really kind of cyberpunky, threatening. And over it, you hear this low kind of rumbling, animal breathing. And then a voice comes in, very deep. From the producers of Last Man Flensing, The Bone Arena, and Screamocracy,
Welcome.
Comes the show the Church of Stellar Divinity tried to vaporize. The one they swore would never air again. They were wrong. Caribris, trademark, is back. We cut to a black and white footage of writhing tentacles bursting through marshes, mud, and screams. There's gunfire, ba 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 ba, and a terrified contestant is sobbing into the camera, eyes are bloodshot, and then this bone hook snakes from the darkness and drags him off into the distance. The voice comes back. 4 clicks long, 600 tons of ancient Sindalian biotech madness. It doesn't sleep. It doesn't think.
Got my attention now.
It hungers. And then we get the scene. We can see Caribris itself.
Oh, Jesus.
Then
Hubba.
Then the shot goes to a twisting, semi-human figure, lipless, snarling, crawling towards the camera, and there's an Imperial Navy dog tag fused onto its cheek.
I shall call you... Ooh. I shall call you Squiddy, and I shall hug you and squeeze you, and you will stay with me here.
This season, it evolves. 13 contestants, armed, shipped, and bioflagged, thrown into the belly of a slumbering godspawn with one rule: don't get digested. Betting is open across 5 subsectors: credit, crypto, pinks and souls accepted, booked through wormhole, trademark, before sector lockdown. Syndicated via Bloodnet, trademark, in 44 jurisdictions. Firewall from prosecution under the fund zone liability loophole. Hackers, splicers, meat riggers want to hijack a neural node and take Caribris for a walk? Plug in during live sessions. Neural override rigs sold separately. Wah, wah. There's like an alarm. Wah, wah, wah. They're like flashing lights. Playtime like a strobe. Ba, 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 ba. Playtime begins in T-3 days. The creature is hungry. The crowd is thirsty. And you, sweet viewer, you're already complicit. Caribris, trademark. It's more than a game. It's a feeding. Rated X, banned in the Third Imperium, sponsored by Moloch Systems and Car Not Leisure. Are you not entertained? End transmission.
Bravo. Bravo, mate. That was really, really, really cool.
Anyone else think that contestant looks a little bit like Raytar from his original image?
This highly illegal reality TV show, it's a bit like Gladiators, takes place on Noricum, which is a totally kind of metal Warhammer 40k world in the
industrial sort of.
It's the old capital of the Sindalian Empire.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. Now, Noricum is famous for other kind of notable features. Something like, I think it's something like 30% to 50% of the planet is a designated death zone. We have such...
Violin singing my heart.
We have such ancient Sindalian relics as biowire.
Yeah.
A Sindalian bioweapon. It resembles a cluster of barbed wire coils, but it attacks any living creature, and it lies dormant, ambushing those under the ground, and it's kind of mobile. So Rob's seen this before, but Gaz and Kel won't have done. We have Rorats. Terrier-sized robotic rats that were released in packs by the Sindalians to terrorize civilian populations.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Roro. Now, you'll like this one. According to old Spacer's tales, the Sindalians once built gigantic robotic war dozers, and they plugged in the brains and nervous system of soldiers who were killed in battle without really asking them or preparing
You're
them.
just talking dirty.
It's
now.
a dreadnought.
This is sci-fi tech perv.
It is. And these massive kind of cyborgs turned against their masters. They all went completely insane, and they were incarcerated in a purpose-built prison known only as the Keep.
Yes, they were.
And then we have the Desert of Bones.
Desert of Bones.
An ominous region of sandy desert littered with human bones and the pitted remnants of a spaceport. Some 750,000 refugees died due to an airborne flesh-eating virus weapon that was dropped on them before they could be evacuated. This was during the Civil War as the Sindalian Empire was collapsing. The virus is still active, surviving in various reservoir species.
Okay.
But the area is infested with dust devil raiders who ambush travellers and build macabre cairns with the sandstorm bleached skulls.
In the background, on Zim's sort of like holographic internal display, there's all these sort of like emoticons of little yellow faces with like star eyes and love hearts and winks and we're going there. All right, mate.
Yeah, and then of course we have itself Caribris, this huge 4 kilometer long biomass. Yeah, it's the site of this kind of sick reality TV show kind of game, horror show. Okay, so that's our little bit of library data today, presented by Moloch Systems.
All suitably happy and refreshed.
I want to know what kind of search results we're getting that we're receiving these adverts. Someone on the crew must be searching.
Yeah. Somebody clear the cookies.
Yeah.
To be honest, it could
delete browser history
because he does have a big thing about Sindalian technology and history.
They were not nice people.
Well, okay. That's a debatable point.
Depends how you define nice. I've deducted the Harrier costs from the kitty.
Brill.
Yeah.
You talked about mothballing the base, which is fine, but it will take you 7 months to get it up and running again if you decide to kind of do it, which is the manpower involved to do as well. I want you to deduct some cost of living from your cash on hand. So Bill, 1,000 credits, but you could spend more if you want. You don't have to do this. So it's on your character sheet now, cost of living, but I'll go through it for you. Bill deducts 1,000 credits. Dax deducts 800 credits.
Yeah, I'm going to take 2k because Dax has been entertaining at Madame Zaffi's.
Yeah.
And spending a bit.
Zim 3,200.
3,200.
You like to eat in slightly more, like nicer places.
Yes.
And Kel 5,000 credits. Your lifestyle costs a bit more to maintain. We're going to roll
every credit.
We're going to roll.
Dem hookers ain't cheap.
Those hookers ain't cheap. We're going to roll on the rumours of the reach table.
Oh, yes, we are.
We're just going to see if any little bits of nuggets, little juicy nuggets, have reached their way in the month.
Anything to sidetrack us from our current side quest.
Yeah. Oh, apparently the rulers of the S05E clan, which are the richest Aslan clan in the Tlayawaha subsector, which is where Drinax is, all addicted to dust spice.
I know where we can get a lot of dust spice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tons of it in the Martin II.
There is.
We could go sell them some catnip.
Go and sell some catnip. Quick review of the last session. Let me just pull up the calendar because this is kind of relevant. On Port Victoria, food supplies are running short because of the dockers' strikes.
Yeah.
And several people have become ill after eating out-of-date rations, and there's been marching through the corridors of Port Victoria as the strike escalates.
Mates are the gift that keeps on giving.
The crew, you had a meeting at Madame Zaffi's where you discussed what had kind of recently happened. There was this mysterious note from Hanshaw where you met her. Dax met her at the market. Saw this rather beautiful, ancient, decrepit Sindalian temple overgrown with jungle. Now, Dax pumped Hanshaw for information, and she told the whole story. How her daughter had been kidnapped, and Felmar was in hock, basically. Was going to be bailed out and given loads of money. And their mission was to try and jump the Martin II to the EXI system. It wasn't supposed to go to the EXI system. They were charged with trying to get it there.
Yeah.
Not sure.
The Marine... Go on, it's okay.
Sorry, I was just going to say, it wasn't meant... She told us it wasn't meant to open until it got into Aslan space. She mentioned the system where it was due to open.
Which is the sort of capital of sort of regional capital.
Yeah.
Now, you heard about the Marine Salvadez. He's
Yep.
been chipped, severed.
That's right.
Severed.
His personality's been severed. That idea I totally stole from Severance, unashamedly. But basically, it will trigger if she tries to betray. If she tries to betray the cause, and he will kill her. And Salvadez apparently said he'll make the opportunity to jump to Exy. And Dax said, "We're going to get your daughter." Then we had a rather moving scene with Bill and Dax discussing about like going together to meet Iron Tooth, and then there were also some contingency plans about Kel and Zim going to try and maybe steal the ship with the other crew, and Zim synthesized a rather unpleasant diarrhea and vomiting virus, which will render anyone out of action for 48 hours. Absolutely terrible thing. And you guys have all got the antidote.
Been inoculated, haven't we?
Inoculated, yeah. You've been inoculated.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Kel and Zim were on the bridge, winning some distractions and triangulations of the black box.
Yep.
And Zim spoke to Osher with, I really love the way he said it, "You've got something in your pocket, Seeds." There was a bit of good cop, bad cop playing with Osher, said, "Come clean now," and to which she ran away.
Yeah, we found
That's
that.
right.
Yeah,
Fluff that.
It was
Kel
good
did not
cop,
do well.
incompetent cop.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you did manage to find, even though Kel got in the way a little bit, you did manage to find the black box, which is gathering data from the navigation console, and also taking the data from the lock of the vault, and it's underneath OSHA's console. But you didn't.
I'm right in saying that we don't think there's any connection between OSHA and Henshaw, do we? They haven't mentioned each other at all, or
I don't think so.
we don't.
Not that we know of. But
we
Osha
know
was
of.
Osha was
Not we know of,
really
yeah.
nervous
That's more
around
right.
you guys, though. Like,
Yeah.
she knew. It wasn't like I don't think she was unaware that the thing was under there.
No, that's true. All right. What I'm saying is Henshaw hasn't said, "Oh yeah, OSHA's in on the plan. She's going to help us get the ship to Exy." That
Yeah,
hasn't
no,
been
we've-
mentioned.
Hasn't mentioned, no.
Okay, sorry. Carry on.
Bill blagged Pilot Orville Smith, and charmed
That was actually quite
yeah.
cool.
charmed the second officer Halbenar,
It was epic.
which was brilliant. And when I watched that scene, it really made me laugh because he was getting so much support from everyone going, "My name is Bill."
And Bill.
Brilliant. And he sort of pulled it off, and she sort of blushed a little bit. And then, but Dax and Bill then visited Bell and Tyler, discussed getting them to help you jump to Cordan, then to jump to X's system, and then Bill did some practice of golf swings with Bell and Tyler, and they said there is an old fueling facility at Cha Cha Cha, which is the gas giant on the outskirts.
Yeah.
And then we finished with a team meeting, what to do with, where you discussed what is Osha all to do with this, and that you sort of, she knows you know.
Yeah. Did we decide on the course of action? Probably not.
No, that's
No,
where
yes.
I want to. That's what I want to. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Now I've got some scenes I thought we'd play, but you could finish your discussion, so go for it.
Well, Zim, you seem to have got the best connection with OSHA.
I have a cunning plan.
Okay. Excellent.
Scooby Doo her.
I'm going to baffle her with science.
Do you need any assistance with that, or?
I am not and will come to baffling. I thank you for your assistance, but I feel quite confident in the direction I shall.
Baffle. Okay.
Yes.
Do you want to share your baffling with us, Doc? It sounds fascinating.
Well, I think the best approach is an apology and a firm handshake. And in the process of doing that, I'll establish a bond and explain that I think we were at cross wires, as I believe she genuinely had something in her pocket, and I was trying to... It's a long story, Alusha, but my colleague, gave me dubious information about a possible romantic inclusion, and I mistook the signs.
It turns out you were just pleased to see me. You didn't have anything in your pocket.
No, I'm gonna try. If the GM will allow, is when I said to her, "What you've got in your pockets was really my mistranslation of something in her own dialect that I got wrong." It was like, "Can I put my hand in your pocket?" Or do you put your hand in my pocket?
Your fishy pocket.
So were you coming onto it on the bridge in front of everyone else? Is that what you were trying to do?
I was
There was
trying
no one
to.
else there. There was there. There was
I
no one
was
else
there.
No,
Wasn't I?
there was at that.
Won't stop me.
Yeah, it was the two of you and Osher
Okay.
at the time.
And then when I establish a successful line of communication, I will then say to her in fluent Solomar. No, it's not Solomar.
Dolberg.
It's
Dolberg is where she's from.
Dolberg in classic Imperium. But what do you really have in your pocket?
I cannot wait.
I'm gonna try and worm my way in there first.
This scene has to be role played. I cannot wait to see
This
it.
scene definitely going to be well played.
Why do you make it so hard for me?
If you scroll,
Is that what you're going to say to her?
if you scroll out a bit on the map,
Yep.
the ship, the treasure ship is currently Aranasia.
Yep.
You'll see there. The planned route was Tech World.
Right.
To jump to Tech World.
Of course, it's got a big jump range.
Yeah, 3 parsecs. Then it was going to jump to Sink. And then there's Tjoch, which is the Aslan planet in Aslan space. That's the kind of planned route. But they want to try and get it to jump to Xe, probably either straight to Xe or by somewhere else. You don't kind of really know yet. We're going to open tonight's session with Bill. This was an event I was going to throw in last week and then forgot. But actually, after I sort of had a bit of time to think about it, a bit more time to sort of develop it, and what's going to happen here is all going to happen together, okay? So all this stuff is happening together to Bill, to Zim, and Kel, not for Rob, not for Dax. So we're going to open with Bill, and we're going to tell me where you all are at the moment. Tell me where you are on the map. Are you on the Martin second, or are you somewhere else?
Yeah, I guess I'd be in like the best crew quarters I could wangle in the Martin II. So the highest ranked person who died, I would have commandeered their cabin.
I don't think there's anywhere particularly.
Well, I know I'm slumming it. Even if it was the captain's cabin, I'd be slumming it. But that's fine.
Okay. So you're in one of the quarters.
I guess I would be trying to. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I would just try to be inconspicuous. If Sim needs backup, if Bill needs backup, I'm there. But we're trying to let our connection with Bill remain secret, right?
Yeah.
So unless he calls for assistance, I'm not going to be interfering with whatever he's got going on.
Zim, where would you be?
My scene starts outside store with a present, a gift, which will be the equivalent of tropical fish food that I get from my good friend on Regina, Thomas's Aquaticus's, which sells all sort of aquatic and flora supplies. But it'll be done like in a tasteful box of chocolate, but it'll be the equivalent of Belusian fish food.
Is this say that again? Say wait.
Outside
You're not gonna
Osher's
make me, are
room.
Say that again.
You know the blue lady, the blue angel.
Yes. Yeah.
My scene will start knocking on her door with an appropriate gift from her culture, which I was hoping would be some sort of fish food that I could synthesize and cook it for her, like the equivalent of cooking.
Okay.
As a gift, and then hopefully that's my point of where I start my conversation, trying to get back into good books.
Right.
And not necessarily in her pockets.
Okay.
Although it will be interesting.
I'm just going to reveal all that map.
Okay.
Can you sort of see all that now.
I can see the Imperial treasure ship lower cargo deck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, hang on, something else is now appearing.
Oh, it's like, where's Wally?
That's the map of
outside
the ship.
Osha's room, apparently.
That's the sort of map of the... Briefly, there's the kind of map of the ship, just for...
Okay, so are we supposed to be able to see all of it, Mike? Because I can see the lower cargo deck, and then I can see, like, a small erect penis at the bottom.
Yeah, me too.
Covers the bottom of the flight deck and the crew deck.
I think his name's Justin.
I've just kind of cleared...
Yeah, it's a good simple fog.
Simple fog.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't actually matter. You don't really need that.
Well,
I guess you might refresh if we need it. It doesn't matter. I thought it might sort of make it easy to kind of see where you are on the ship, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to take you to Bill. Bill, where are you at this moment? Right, it's the day after that meeting. You've had that meeting. You've gone into work, and it's going to be your last day at work. So you're doing this particular job, and it's now sort of lunchtime. Whereabouts are you?
So I'm still on the ship, right? So at lunchtime he's going to be in the mess with all the other deckhands, hanging out with the deckhand.
Okay, so let's get the let's find the Martin II galley. Activates. Oh, let's get rid of all those tokens. Okay, so you can see the galley there, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're there. What you sort of over there. And you've been working this morning. What have you been working on this morning? Whereabouts in the ship have you been working? Thinking about?
So this morning, Bill's been, soon as he showed himself to be a reasonably good cargo loader, he's been working the cargo loader this morning. So lifting big heavy things and moving them around and
dropping them on people.
While he's doing that, sort of also training. Who's it? Who what's the name of the guy who killed the other guy?
Oh yeah, Dwayne.
So he's also sort of mentoring Dwayne as well. So kind of like he's been doing some of the bit, but then also getting Dwayne to do some of it and trying to.
Where's Dwayne? I guess people take lunch in shifts. So there's a few of you kind of there. We'll put like Rex there. We'll put Frankie Illian over there, who looks a bit green, a bit sick. He's on the lash last night. And then we'll put Jonah there. So most of the sort of a group of the deckhands are kind of there, and you guys are sat at one table. And Cargo Chief Jim, you've been working quite a bit with Cargo Chief Jim Niven, and you've started to get a bit kind of, there's a bit of a kind of a friendship maybe growing. He started to, he can clearly see that you're a bit overqualified for this job because you've got quite a few skills. You're not just a deckhand. You've got engineering skills. You've got mechanical skills. You know how the piloting. You spotted that kind of problem with the sort of piloting software. So he's like and you're shipping out, aren't you, later on today or tomorrow? So this is kind of your last day. So what's on your sandwiches? What are you having for your lunch?
It's kind of like a cheese. So it's like this kind of protein paste that has this odd sort of slightly pungent flavour, and a local rodent, sort of dried meat rodent that's been, they sort of mash it all up and turn it into like this. So it's a bit like we would call it like a salami or a pepperami. It's that kind of literally mush of these local rodents, but that's cheese and dried rodent.
mushed into a kind of
it's a bit of an animal. You just don't know which bit.
Yeah, some kind of animal. So Niven's
You've had
like
some bad kebabs, mate.
it's a bad kebab. So Niven, he's kind of you're chit chatting, and he's like, "Where you from, Valeras?" Me, a fate. So it's a place called Fate. Spinwood Marches. Industrial world, high tech, military. So Danny Border. Bit busy.
I've heard of that place.
I always wanted to see the stars. What about yourself? What's brought you here? Where are you from?
I was just having a quick look to see if I could remember where I was from.
I think it's on your character sheet. So if you look on your character sheet at the front, under your name.
Oh, yeah, I was looking through the biography. I was desperately trying to quickly find it. Plaza?
Yeah, and I'm going to put it on because I just kind of chose that world totally at random about 4 or 5 years ago, and when I looked it up recently, there's fuck all there. It's officially it's a small planetoid. There it is in the Star Lane subsector of Deneb, which is one sector up and one sector to the right, which would be trailing. It's got no atmosphere, a little bit of ice probably. Official population is 90. No government structures, but there's got some technology. So, like, how would that fit? What's your sort of...
You're saying that it's cold outside and there's no kind of atmosphere, and that Bill would be all alone.
Actually, all alone, more or less.
Yeah. So it's like, tell me where you're from.
So, I'm from Plaza. It's literally a backwater planet, but it's a hard living, but they had decent tech there and good mining. But I got out of there as soon as I could, and I've travelled certainly this sector and sort of plus 2 or 3 sectors wide of here since then.
Well, have you told him you're going to leave? Have you told him you're finishing, or are you just going to disappear?
I think I'm going to tell him I'm going to leave. So, I've got to get out of here. I don't like to hang around in one place for any too long. So, I'm out of here in a couple of days.
That's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. We're going to miss you around here, Valeras. You know your way around a ship. You know your way around a jump drive. Seeing what you're doing with the power plant there. You pick up stuff really, really quickly. And he sort of like glances over to Dwayne James and Frank Hill in there, and he's like, some of these bums. Listen, I don't know where you're shipping out to, but if it doesn't work out, it's always going to be a place for you here. Have you ever thought? Have you ever considered joining the Imperial Merchant Navy?
I like to travel, but it's good to know that. And you know what? You never know. We may well cross paths again in the not too distant future. Who knows?
I hope so, man. You're a good man, and you're a hard worker. We could do with more people like you. And just as you're sort of chit chatting about that, enter Sergeant Hark, our Marine captain, and he's
serious.
Isaac Hayes.
Yeah.
He sits down, and he sort of steps on, sits down with his sort of sandwiches, and him and Niven are pretty tight. You've seen them talking quite a few times and seen them spending some time together, and he sort of comes to sit down, and Wayne sort of bumbles off. He sort of heads off over there to chat to Rex. So you sort of three are there, sort of pretty tight. And Hart kind of looks over at Niven, and Niven's like, "It's okay. You can relax. He's one of us. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's a good fella. He's one of us." And Hark is like, sort of leans in, steeples his hands. He's like, some are going down on this ship. Explosions, accidents, Imperial inspections, all too convenient. Well, I think I've figured it out. Niven's like, raises his eyebrows. He leans in and he goes, so Danny, they all over this sector. Spies, investigators, sowing sedition. Better keep our eye on those two Imperial agitators. They may have been had. Something not right about those guys.
Watch out for the Imperial agitators. That's for sure.
Yeah, what do you think of them? You seen them snooping around? Fucking Cagney and Lacey down there.
I've been focused on my job. You know me. I'm all about getting the job done right and safe every single time.
Niven's like, yeah, man, he's a good guy. He's one of us. Like, I don't think he'll have really seen much of them. They barely go down to the sort of lower decks. Ponce is pouncing around in their finery.
I was gonna say, I don't think I've seen them, have I?
You might have seen them, but barely. Yeah,
it's not like they've been part of my storyline so far.
No, barely.
Okay.
And then Harky's like, well, I am watching those motherfuckers. And then he goes, hold on, and he sort of puts his finger to his comm, and he's like, oh, okay, sort of like you can see he's like, fucking, it's like twitching a bit, and he's like, hang on, what? And he's obviously talking to someone, and he looks to Niv and he goes, showtime.
He's been at.
He gets up and he walks out, and as he walks out, he I'm just gonna roll a d6, 2d6, a 1 and a 6. He goes, Mercer, Parish, meet me, come with me. Or he sort of pings them, Mercer, Parish, to me. We've got a little chatting to do.
Oh.
And he disappears off the screen.
Oh man, I'm nervous.
Okay. So, all while that's happening, Zim, you are, you've been deciding where to sort of try and find Osha, and she's been pretty much keeping herself to us. Well, actually, you tell me where you're gonna approach her.
Well, I was hoping to approach her at a personal. I'm assuming she's got a personal, like, cubicle, like an officer's quarters, rather than a common deck.
She's got her own quarters.
Yeah.
I think the where would be there is the handouts.
She's got the humidity turned up to max.
Yeah, it's the only room that's a giant fish tank.
There's the deck plan. Right, there's the
She's
deck
just
plan.
swimming around.
Yeah, so actually, I forgot to share that. There you go. There's the deck plan.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay, so she's got her own room on the officer deck.
Okay.
And I guess when she's not on the officer deck, she'll be on the flight deck, and she'll come down to the galley periodically. You're heading over there, and just as you're on your way, there's a bing bong. Would Ms. Takud please report to the medical bay? Ms. Takud to the medical bay. Thank you. Bing bong.
Okay. At this point, Zim will do a little bit of surreptitious, whatever it is anyway, sneaking, with Lydia, doing any sort of like background scans and any sort of covert anything that I think I'm walking into a trap that could be involve any sort of like digital communication or, being sly through the airwaves.
Make a sensors roll.
I'll give it a go. Oh, sensors. I'll do it with int.
Okay, there has been a bit of chat about Officer. I think it is Officer Albanar, as is the one who's paged you, but it seems to be just her.
And is she a doctor, medbay doctor?
Officer.
There isn't a doctor.
There isn't
anymore.
a doctor.
That's right, because I'm
Yes.
replacing them.
You're sort of replacing the doctor because they're deed.
That's her.
She's the XO, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
She's the assistant XO.
That's right. She was Kel's escort.
Yes. She's your escort. She's your babysitter. Yeah, she generally appears to be sort of quite harried, quite sort of busy.
That's fine. I'll just trot along then.
Okay, so let's take you to the medical bay.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Be right.
It'll be fine. Where is it?
Just because it's interfering your hot, wet date.
Filth. The filth.
Can we see this medical bay?
Yeah. It's looking very medical
yeah.
and subnautical.
Yeah. It seems that whoever designed the ship interior had a thing for yellow, so there's yellow.
They got a deal on like yellow fittings.
They got a deal on yellow fittings. Yeah. So you enter in there, and Halbinar is sort of waiting for you, and she's kind of like clicking away at one of the kind of terminals there, and she says, good day, Mr. Good. Do you have a moment in your busy schedule?
Yes, certainly. How can I help?
Seeing as you have, what is your role again with the adjutants?
And that's Phil's character's name, identity that I can't remember.
What did you say his name was?
I said my name was Galen Barrack.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is your role with Mr. Barrack, the adjutant?
To be honest, I'm not really sure.
Her eyes kind of widen a little bit.
Oh, you mean work-wise? We've barely been working together for more than a few months. I'm sorry, I miss.
I thought you meant romantically.
Well, yes. That was my first assumption. We are both fine figures of men. And look at her.
She sort of rolls her eyes and kind of, as if like, basically her entire body language and face says, I have not got time for this bullshit.
Perfect, that's what I want.
So she says, she looks really sort of like, as if she's got 1,000 other things to do that she should be doing. Yeah. So let me just get down to the point. The captain has asked me to put you to some use, seeing as you will be joining us for the foreseeable future. Dr. Bork was killed in the explosion, and the captain would be pleased if you would assume the role for the duration of this journey. I assume you have a approved medical degree from a well-respected university.
Essentially, yes.
Well, I'm sure that'll be fine.
Not on me.
Paul sells it.
Well, it's essentially.
Let's just put Officer Halbanar there. There she is. And let's put our...
You've got cybernetics and mutations. I'm your man.
There's you there.
People. Not bad.
You come in there. One of your first duties will be to conduct a thorough well-being and health assessment of the crew, as we prepare for the arrival of the Imperial rescue ship to get us off this godforsaken planet.
I could use this smile ups.
Perseverance has a few things he wants to discuss with you, and I've asked him to attend this meeting. The cursed man is late yet again, and he assured me he'll be. And just as she says, the door slides open, and in enters our ship's purser. Now, you've not met this guy yet. Well, have you seen him around? You've probably seen him in passing. But this guy comes in. Here he is. Let me just show you his kind of artwork. There he is. He's a kind of rather grey looking bureaucrat type guy. And he's sort of, he's got a bit of permanent sneer. Bit of a permanent sneer. I've not quite got a voice for him, but I think I've got it. He says, and she says, Perseverance, can you see this man onto the can see this gentleman, can you see Mr. Good onto the the appropriate kind of paperwork to enroll him as the temporary acting ship, and as a petty officer on the ship, of course. So she starts to kind of head off. I've got better things to do than this, and she starts to head off, and Perseverance kind of looks at you, and you can see there's a bit of barely disguised contempt for you. He obviously doesn't, he's not very fond of you, even though he's barely kind of met you. He says,
saves time.
You've got one of those faces.
And he's kind of looking at his data slate, and he says, I presume your role as the adjutant's assistant sees you are drawing a salary for your role?
I don't think I am. I think with me currently employed by the Imperial Bureau of Tax and Investigation, that I am actually only helping in the Imperial Manor. I've got many skills. So currently I'm acting as medical assistant until he can be replaced with a qualified, suitable doctor.
Are you saying that you are working for no pay for the...
No, I work for the same pay that I would get working as an Imperial tax investigator.
What I'm trying to establish here is whether you are currently drawing a salary. And are you currently drawing a salary?
Are you currently got a runny nose?
He has got a runny nose.
And then with a sort of like look at a data link from Lydia, which gives me his sort of like essentials, like national health number in the Imperium, and homeworld, and birthplace, and the last 6 months of doctor's records by the original doctor who got killed, and I'll cram read it and look for any interesting points I can defend with.
Okay. It's very, very, very quick, that.
He's had crabs 4 times.
Yeah, make a kind of like a computer's roll then.
Okay.
It's going to be difficult to pick something up at a quick glance, but not impossible.
It's always worth a good go. Don't let me down, Zim. Don't let me down.
That's the role player's attitude. It's always worth throwing the dice.
There we go.
Go on, Zim.
Okay, nice. Okay. He's always complaining about his allergies. He's a bit of a kind of frequent flyer when it comes to Doctor. He was a bit of a frequent flyer when it came to Dr. Borg. He was like complaining of his allergies often enough for the Doctor to probably think he was a bit irritating, but kind of harmless, but a bit annoying.
Could Zim make a psychology roll to persuade him of an alternate placebo, or explain to him the proper cure that I can offer, however drastic it may be?
Okay. Make a psychology roll.
Okay. Yeah. Give it a go. And I shall use my education.
Yeah, you I mean you get the sort of feeling what he might respond to. You get the feeling he's kind of like from some of the things that Dr. Bork has said, he's into a bit of like homeopathy, kind of natural kind of
Now we know why he's always ill.
grasses and the kind of things like that, essence of dandelion, kind of things like that, to kind of like to cure his allergies. He swears by him apparently. Dr. Bork didn't really kind of like have any truck with it, which is why he found him so irritating. And he sneezes. God, I mean, the pollen levels in the ship are zero, but the Perseverance is like, these pollen levels are intolerable. Um, the reason I ask is because I just need to know whether you will be paid by the ship or whether you are already drawing a salary. Do we need to add you on to the Martin II's budget, as I am responsible for it? That
No.
is, and he looks a bit happier. He just looks smiles a little bit, and he says, "Well, that is fantastic news. That is fantastic news."
I am pleased that I'm able to deliver this good news. However, unfortunately, there is always bad news. And we do have possible cures for your allergies. Now, I do quite enjoy a bit of archaeology, especially botany and biology. And I've found some old, ancient Sindalian herbs and spices that, when prepared in the appropriate manner, can alleviate all sorts of viral fungal mucus, which I think in your case, sir, would assist. Now, there is a risk.
It's a suppository.
There is a risk, I must admit, that I might have to replace your nose.
It looks totally alarmed.
It'd be a cybernetic nose, really 2 filters, but these days it's amazing what you can do with reconstructive surgery and cyber technology. Have you ever been to Tech World? Oh, it's amazing.
We'll be going to Tech World once we get this ship off the ground, but it's not something I would be interested in. I'm very cautious when it comes to body modification and such kind of trends like that. It wouldn't be something I would be interested in. No, 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 thank you. I'd much rather endure my little foibles and idiosyncrasies as they are, and be my unique selfness. But I might see you about potential alternative cures. These herbs sound very interesting if you have any information. I do have a lot to do. Unless there's anything else you wish to discuss? Is there anything else you wish to discuss, Zim?
No, certainly. You are a very busy man, such as I, and I relish our challenges that we will both encounter together.
You see him on his screen with your like profile, and he ticks no on the salary, and he looks really, really pleased. And he kind of looks at it, presses save and enter, save exit, and kind of like folds it away and strolls off, looking with a bit of a spring in his step. Calistinius, let's go to you.
That roll saved me.
Roll did really well. So you've kind of got him on your side there. He's sort of potentially you could
chop his nose off.
Yeah, if you wanted to chop his nose off. Kel, where are you on the ship at the moment?
I'm just going to go and grab a drink.
You said you were in your quarters, didn't you?
Yeah, I was in my quarters. When I heard I don't know if I heard the shipwide announcement asking Zim to go to the medical bay.
Yeah.
I would have twigged that, and then I've been like, well, is he in trouble or not? But I'm assuming that if he was in trouble, he'd ask for help, right? Because it wasn't like a secret plan to get into the medical bay. It was a shipwide announcement. So I wouldn't be stressing it too much.
Yeah,
so I'd still be in my quarters. Yeah.
Okay, so you're in your quarters. I don't think I did have a I did have an image for quarters, but I forgot to kind of to create.
Well, I'm guessing it would be yellow themed, so that's fine.
It was yellow themed, yeah. So we'll just kind of use that imagination.
Yeah,
so
sure.
You're in this kind of like stateroom, which is a exaggerated term, rather kind of simple kind of room. It is. Did any of the officers die? Let's just kind of Martin the second. Crew roster.
The ship's doctor, right? I'm assuming he probably had the best.
Yeah. Get in there quick
well,
before Zim gets it.
The ship's
or the
doctor's...
chief engineer.
The chief engineer.
But would he be on the officers' quarters, or would he be down with the scum in the lower deck?
No, he'd probably be with the scum with the lower deck.
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm guessing the doctor would be up with the officers.
The doctor is a petty officer. We know this now.
The doctor's a petty officer. Yeah, I guess probably launch pilot Emmanuel Cooper.
All right.
Would have the.
Well, look, I'm not expecting great quarters. It would just be like a tiny cramped.
Yeah.
Thing
it's
on a
like
ship,
a little kind of capsule, kind
like
of
a cabin, yeah.
like a cabin, yeah. So you're in that room. Your door opens. And
does it open, or does it open, or is it like a?
It's a side door.
All right.
It's like a shit wooden door on a hinge.
It's just a curtain. So it's just those beads.
Yeah, it's a bead curtain.
It's a bead curtain. The door sort of slides open, and we have stood in the doorway. We have our Marine, Vernon Hark. There he is, and he's flanked by.
This is the one that Billum was defending us to. Oh wait.
Yeah. We have Hiram Mercer, the Marine, and we have Sandra Parrish. So they're on either side, but slightly back, slightly behind. And he, let me just kind of pull this up a little bit. He sort of stands there, and he kind of like, even though you can't see his eyes, you get the feeling he's kind of like staring at you with like wide eyes. And he sort of frowns a little bit, so he's sort of like giving it this kind of look.
Sure.
And he's like, heard you were alone on the bridge last night. Snooping.
Was I alone on the bridge last night, Mike? I can't remember.
You were with Zim.
All right. So I wasn't on my own, but if I was, it wasn't very long. I'm like, what's his name again? This dick?
Hark. Sergeant Hark. Yeah.
Don't worry about things above your pay grade, Sergeant.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means I'm allowed on the bridge. You should be worried about the security on the lower decks of the ship.
You're allowed on the bridge, but you shouldn't be snooping. OSHA tells me you were snooping around the nav console.
Oh, does she? I don't say that. That's interesting.
How interesting.
OSHA doesn't know what she's talking about. I'm perfectly entitled to examine the bridge and all of the consoles there.
You're saying she doesn't know what she's talking about?
I'm saying that you have no authority over me.
I have authority over all security matters on this ship. Someone's going down in this town. I'll talk to you, Staff Sergeant, but not with your two goons there.
Sorry, lads. Distracted by rainbow ice cubes.
That's alright. And can I sort of raise myself up, because I've just been lying down on my bed, so I sort of raise myself up, sort of roll my eyes and go, if you want to talk, I will talk to you, Staff Sergeant, but in private.
Okay. He looks to the other two guys and he goes like that, and they sort of disappear off down the corridors, both going to either ends. And he steps into the room. You know when you go to like a nightclub, if you remember those days of going to nightclubs, and some kind of bouncer or gangster stands uncomfortably close.
Is he invading my personal space?
He's very. I mean, there's not a lot of personal space in this room, but he's very, very close to you. So I'm going to take her out. So I'm going to take Tundra out. So he's kind of stood there. And he's kind of like, talk to me.
Are his sunglasses actual sunglasses, or are they sort of cyborg implants? I can't remember.
Cyborg implants.
So I can't sort of take them off and throw them away. All right. Well, I'll see if there's I'll sit down on my bed and I'll pat the bed and come and sit down, Staff Sergeant. I'm not going to stare at your crotch. And so if you want a conversation, you'll sit down and meet me on the level.
There's a little chair and a writing bureau terminal, and he takes the chair, spins it round so the back is against you, and
That's it.
sort of like
right,
military
yeah,
style.
like...
As if you're going to stab him in the belly.
Kick
and
it
he
out
sits
from under
down.
him.
Yeah, and he sort of leans on it. It says, just kind of like, go on.
As you know, Staff Sergeant, I'm here to investigate. One of the things I'm here to investigate is why this ship has been sabotaged or had an accident on it that's caused it to crash. As far as I'm concerned, that's your responsibility as the person in charge of security on this ship. I understand that you're not happy that you have someone coming to investigate how you failed so miserably, but you don't come to my quarters with your goons and threaten me with some made-up story. It's not good enough. If you don't take it any further, I will not report this incident to your superiors. But if you want to make an issue of it, I certainly will, and then you'll be sent off to some backwater planet if you're lucky, and you'll never get another promotion the rest of your life.
Okay, so you better make some kind of like persuade roll there.
Yeah, okay, what have I got? I've got...
So you could use social as a modifier, because you are going to flex your kind of...
Yeah, I'm just going to try and
status
say,
a
like,
bit.
you don't want to mess with me, basically.
It's like a status, isn't it?
I got deception, because it's all bullshit, right?
Yeah.
I'll do a deception with social.
Status, yeah. Ooh.
Because do you want to throw any luck into it?
Pardon?
Do you want to burn any luck or no?
I don't need luck.
Where I'm going. Oh, you do not need
Nah,
it.
man, you don't. Oof.
He kind of it looks like, it's hard to tell. He's kind of staring at you.
So I'm trying to put across, like, my life is going to be fine. Whatever he decides to do, I'm not worried, right? That's the impression I'm trying to put across. But his life, I can make it so much worse for him. That's the thing I'm trying to suggest. That his life will be easier if he just cooperates and doesn't bother me.
What you want is the Princess Margaret. No, it's not Princess Margaret. What's her name? Princess
Anne?
Yeah, she's nice. The Princess Anne moment when the horse farts or the pony farts and she looks down. That's the sort of expression you want.
Find someone else to bully, Staff Sergeant. And both of our lives will be easier.
You can see he looks like he wants to punch you in the face.
I get that a lot.
He stands up and he puts the chair neatly away. He just kind of looks at you and he says, "I'm watching you, motherfucker."
Only shortly.
Hits the panel with his elbow, cracks it in the thing, and the door slides open, and he fucking storms off in a right fucking huff.
But there's the door shut.
Door shuts.
Oh, I can't wait for him to get diarrhea.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Give him a double dose.
Is there anything you want to do there? My plan was to go to the scene with Bill and Dax on the landing pad of the Hopeful Wanderer, getting ready to take off. Unless there's anything you and Zim...
Well, after I've had that successful interaction, I sort of go over to the small mirror that will be in my cabin, and I just sort of neaten up my moustache.
Yeah. We could
and then I'll sit down.
But no, have you got a little comb that combs just your moustache?
I probably have but it's like an electronic drone thing. It's like a little spider that comes out and just brushes it for me.
The scene with Osha, Zim. Do you want to do that, or should we just do this little scene with Bill and Dax?
Bill and Dax, please.
Yeah, let's do the scene with Bill and Dax. And you can have a little think about anything you might say. Okay, so let's go onto the Hopeful Wanderer on the landing pad. Okay, so we're on the tarmac, and
it's humid. I can feel it.
Yeah, you've got the heat. You've got this very humid today, very sweaty, and you've got stereo playing out some kind of samba beats. Ba, 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 ba.
Look for the camera.
Yeah, and we've got Tyler and Bell, who are basically loading up the ship. You know, they're putting away the fake grass, they're taking out the picket fence, putting the barbecue away, and just kind of like getting some stuff ready to go to kind of take off. and you're just chit-chatting about your plans, like you're going to go to Cordan, refuel there, you're going to have to refuel here because the ship wasn't really expecting to go, so there's going to be some costs. Dax.
Yeah, Dax will pay for all the fuels.
Now fuel's gone up a little bit because of Raytar's shenanigans. There's a little bit of a premium for fuel, so it's going to cost you 22,000 credits to refuel the Hopeful Wanderer, Dax. So you'll want to tell it off your
I'll do that now
at some point. And you're sort of loading up. Imagine you're sort of carrying. What are you doing? You're carrying crates? What are you sort of doing here?
Dax has with him. I've thought about this. Dax is not walking into a pirate lord's ship unarmed. He's not anticipating he's going to be allowed to keep his weapons, but also it isn't a show of strength to turn up on an Aslan ship carrying no weapons. They'll think he's a female. So he's got with him his body pistol, his monoblade. He's got his monkey knife, of course, because that's sign of Aslan respect. He's also packing a couple of stealth daggers, or a stealth dagger, and he's got a smoke grenade. He's not taking a frag grenade. Everything else, so the other big things he's got really are the shotgun and the sniper rifle. He's going to leave those on the coup. He's going for essentially, if it all goes south, having a shotgun with me is not going to make a massive difference against a ship full of Aslan pirates. But having a monoblade could be a bit of a useful show of strength. And he's got his cloth armour on and stuff. Other than that, he's got a single bag over his shoulder, and he's just carrying a box under one arm. It's like a medium-sized sort of cheapo cardboard or plastic box. And that's all he's got. And he'll get in and stow his stuff sort of in the crew compartment. The box has in it 4 bottles of the whiskey that we've had in the hold of the coup for the trip. So, they're party people, and they're giving us a lift. So he's got 4 bottles of whiskey in the box, and once he's stowed his stuff, he will give them a hand putting away whatever they're doing.
Okay. And Bill, what are you doing?
So Bill is he's sort of done his final bit of time on the ship, said goodbye to the guys there. He's sort of looking over at Dax, and Dax pointed out about taking the monkey knives. It's a good shout. So Bill was sort of grabbing that, making sure he's tooled up. So again, probably with Aslan, Goop gun feels like a good shout for it. And just generally kind of making sure he's got a good set of kit, and just lightly chatting to Dax about what route they're going to take, and having a bit of a joke about this time if we're going to scoop and scoot, then maybe we won't go quite so deep. But other than that, he's just kind of getting his kit stowed,
getting your head in the game. And as you're sort of like loading up, onto the tarmac comes running Anshaw. And she comes running up. She's seen Dax, and there's a moment where she comes running up, and then she sort of sees Bill, and there's a bit of a kind of like a moment of surprise, because she's seen you on the ship,
of course,
maybe working, but then she's suddenly gone, oh, right, hang on a minute, like. So she does a bit of a double take, basically, and he's like, "Oh, right," and he doesn't say anything about it, and you can see in her face, there's she's sort of a bit tearful. She looks anxious, but also maybe a bit kind of hopeful, and she comes running on, and she says, "Bring her back, please." And she's got something in her hand. She says, "Bring her back, please. Just bring her back, and I'll owe you. I'll help you. Whatever I can do, I'll help you. Just bring her back, please. Just bring her back."
And Dax will just hold her shoulder gently, look her straight in the eye, and just say, "I promised you, darling, I was going to go get her, and we will. 2 weeks' time, we'll be back here with her. 2 weeks, 4 weeks' time, we'll be back. We'll get her. Don't you worry. You go, keep your head down, stay safe."
She looks over at Bill and she's like, "You guys together? You guys working together?"
And he'll just crack a smile and say, "Look, I told you, we had our eyes on that ship too. We're gonna take it, but we're gonna take it the right way. Nobody gets hurt in our plan, darling."
She sort of shakes her head and she's like, you guys are just kind of crazy.
Damn right.
Ariel. Her name is Ariel. And make sure you give her this. She hands you
Oh my
dog-eared.
God. You're gonna break my heart.
I know. She hands you a dog-eared
Melted.
kind of teddy bear. It
Yeah,
looks like it's...
Was
it
that the
looks like
species that
it's-
Zim's investigated? It's like a
Zim was married to that for like 5 years.
It could never be proved.
She sort of she presses it onto your chest and she says, "Make sure you give her this. She'll know.
I'll say
She'll know you for real."
she'll have it in 2 weeks, my darling. Don't you worry. And I'll bring her and this lovable little scamp back with me.
She takes you by the shoulders and she gives you a big kiss, and also Bill as well. She sort of takes you on the shoulder and she gives you a big kiss, but it's not like a sexual kiss or an attractive kiss. It's the kind of kiss like a sister or an auntie might give you. It's basically a kind of, you know,
Good luck. Here's my approval.
yeah. It's a good luck kiss, and she starts to she heads off, and you can see there are tears streaming down her eyes as she kind of runs off. And meanwhile, you guys go up the gangplank.
I think Billem's going to read that wrong, and he turns it into quite. He kind of like she goes to give him a kiss. He sort of like grabs the small of the back and puts his hand back, and like properly kind of goes in and gives her a proper big. He turns it into a massively sexual kiss.
Dax is just going to take him very, very gently by the shoulder and just be like, not now. And he's going to look to sort of apologetically at her, all whilst holding her daughter's bear in the other hand.
What does she do, Bill? When you do this, I'm gonna send it back to you. What does she do?
She liked it.
Oh. All right. There's a little
She gets that
attraction.
sort of blush in her eyes, and it's like that awkward moment when someone does something that's totally inappropriate, but he thought that was the right thing to do, and then sort of stands her back up again, and it's kind of like nonchalant. Yeah, we'll see you again soon.
It's just kind of like she steps back and she's breathing a bit heavy. Was heaving. She goes. She sort of shakes her head and she's like, "You crazy guys. You'll make sure you come back and bring her back." And she goes running off. We're gonna go into the bridge of the Hopeful Wanderer. We're gonna step onto the bridge of the Hopeful Wanderer.
Oh, it's so intimate and dingy, and Dax loves it. This is so much better than some Sindalian poser piece.
It's such a weird experience after spending like the best part of the year and a half on this kind of baroque magnificence of the
This is flying as it should be.
Yeah, it's rough and ready. There's dials and buttons and switches,
Bookmarks and
dim lights. There are stickers, beer mats. There's even a pair of what look like fluffy dice hanging from the from the sort of window there.
From the mirror.
And there are consoles beginning to light up as the ship begins to come to life. And somewhere, something is knocking. And Tyler picks up a big wrench and just whacks this panel, and the knocking stops. Belle, she's the pilot and the astrogator. Tyler, he's the gunner and the engineer, so they fly it between them. But you guys might want to. Belle's the pilot, but you could do anything you want. You could take another role when you're on board. So she basically what I did for this. I did a bit of like ChatGPT, and I asked for some sci-fi trucker speak.
Yes.
I asked for some sci-fi trucker speak.
10-4, good buddy.
I know. So she, the door starts to close, The door starts to close, and you can hear the kind of maneuver drive thrusters begin to lift the ship off the landing pad. And she leans back. She's sort of in the pilot seat there, and she leans back and says, "You guys get strapped in for the Skyburn. We're going to clear the cradle, skybound and growling." And the ship starts to take off and head off into the sort of into orbit, and starts to head for the jump point. It's probably about I think it's about an hour or two to get there in the Hopeful Wanderer. And just before you jump, she says, "Stars ahead, smoke behind. We're outbound, burning bright. Next stop, cool. Trouble. Next stop, trouble." And you jump, and there's a flash of light, this burst of tachyon beams as the ship enters jump, and we'll fast forward this little bit. So and then we'll come to, before we arrive, we'll come back to Zim and Kel, and we'll decide if you can do anything. So you've got your 22,000 fueling Arancia. It's a weak jump to Cordan. Oh, there's a week in. Let's just see if there's any events.
All
week in jump. An ordinary week. What's this roll? Tyler. Someone insists on learning a musical instrument. Who is it? Who is it? Is it one of you guys, or is it one of?
It's
is
Dax.
It Bell or Tyler?
It's Dax.
What is it?
Dax is not used to having nothing to do, and he's made the point to Bell and Tyler. He's like, Billem's a hell of a pilot. I'm not a bad gunner. We're happy to help, but this is your home, so you fly unless you tell us you need us. So Dax has found amongst this. It was just lying on one of the tables. Probably belongs to Tyler. He finds this mouth organ, this harmonica, and he just picks it up and he's like, and after about 2 or 3 attempts, it's like, so he's got his feet up on a console and he's just constantly trying to learn it. And he's not really trying, he's just blowing through it and moving it backwards and forwards in a weird rhythm. And it does just sound terrible, but he's really pleased with himself. It's like he's in prison providing atmosphere.
Nice. So it's a week to jump to Cordan. You get to Cordan. We're going to move that through really quickly. It takes a half day to transit from the jump point to Cordan itself, dock and refuel.
Yeah.
So all that, we're just going to hand wave it pretty quick.
And Dax is just going to make it very clear that he and Bill are not on the ship if they get asked any questions, because they're not particularly popular at Cordan Highport. We're going to lay very low.
Keep it on the QT.
Yeah.
It's 16,000 credits.
Right.
To refuel here.
Man, we better make some money from this treasure ship.
And we're going to make yeah. And then you're going to jump out of. Then that's a half day to jump, to go in, refuel, get back out, and jump again. And then it's another week.
Yeah.
To
XE.
To the XE system. So I'm going to roll on the week in jump table.
Maybe you mastered a musical instrument this week after learning it the previous week.
If anything, he's worse than last week, but he's still trying.
It says someone's slightly altered the calibration on the graph here and there.
Oh.
That's definitely not me, but I think somebody took engineering skills recently.
I'm going to say that they've not altered it. I'm going to say there's a faulty grav plate somewhere. Where the gravity keeps going up and down, so it kind of fluctuates when you're sort of passing it. So what happens, I want each of you just to tell me a little narrative, bit of storytelling, something inconsequential that might happen as you pass this grav plate.
So with Dax, this being the sort of second week, and we've had a little subtle drink from the 4 bottles of whiskey that he brought on the first week out. We've not gone mad, but we're getting much more sort of comfortable in each other's company. And the first time Dax notices it's a grav plate that's actually between his chair, sort of towards the back, and Bell and Tyler are up at the front console. And he's taking a big swig from a bottle of whiskey, and he just says, "Tyler, heads up!" And he flings the bottle to him, And it travels in a perfect arc, lid's screwed on and everything, but it travels in a perfect arc towards Tyler until it passes over this grav plate, when it suddenly just drifts up and smashes on the ceiling, and there's a rain of broken glass and whiskey comes raining down on the centre of the command deck.
Nice. How about you, Bill? Anything kind of like silly, humorous, inconsequential might happen with this?
I think Bill's playing chess with what's the guy's name in this?
Tyler.
Yeah. So Bill's been playing chess with Tyler and getting his ass kicked continually, like just properly schooled every time they play. But he keeps practicing and keeps trying, and yeah, he's getting really frustrated with the fact that he keeps getting his ass kicked at chess.
Okay, cool. All right, so we'll go to, we're going to arrive at the exit system. It's a couple of weeks since you left, a bit longer perhaps. It's, I don't know whether to kind of, I think we'll flick back to Zim and Kel.
It's been, yeah, we're in the future.
Yeah, you're in the future. So, Kel and Zim, what are you guys doing then?
Kel, have you got a plan?
Well, I'm going to generally try to keep a low profile. I know that obviously the Marine guy is keeping an eye out for me.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do anything obvious. So I'm not going to try and snoop around O'Shea. I'm going to leave that to Zim to try a different...
Kel gives him a lowdown, won't we?
Sorry, Mike, what was that?
Do you want to do that scene in the medical bay with OSHA? Sim.
Well, you've got a genuine excuse now to medically examine her.
Yeah, I would like to have prepared.
No means no.
Well, don't talk to me, talk to Zim.
I'll talk to Bill as well.
Yeah, exactly. Dax knows that. I have respect for women.
I want to have some preparation, if I may, GM, because I want an apology gift to be made, and I'm gonna go for. I wasn't really wrong with fish food, so I don't think. So, with spending a bit of time with Lydia's assistants, look into Lucia's homeworld's sort of like favourite native dishes, and then I'm going to try and replicate it in the canteen, right?
Nice.
And what I'm then going to do is try and time it when we figure out when she comes in. So she comes in and she'll smell, and she might be going, "Oh, that's," you know what I mean? And I can just say that I've got permission to help out at the galley occasionally, get to know the crew, and it was a perfect opportunity to apologise.
I'm the ship's new doctor and also chef.
Well, I like to get about.
I'm gonna move the calendar on by a D6 days.
Perfect, that'll be enough time.
Ooh.
6 days.
Good.
Okay, so there's a number of things that's going to happen during this time. So this is you just kind of getting your feet under the desk in the medical bay, maybe conducting some routine health screening, psych evaluations and things like that. Kel's been trying to sort of be a bit quiet because he knows Hark is kind of onto him a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Hang on a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's a couple of things that have happened at Port Victoria while this tale is going on. Once again,
it's like a massive space station. Do we start seeing it plummet into the atmosphere because it's just got so badly wrong?
Not just yet.
Not quite yet.
Bodies are falling from space.
Staff wages have not been paid for the second week running. Tensions are starting to escalate as the strike expands. The dock workers union have prevented all traffic going in and out of Port Victoria, which has led to massive increases of traffic to Port Amalgo, completely seizing up the sort of logistics there. So there's like
we got out just in time.
Well, can I ask, Mike?
Yeah.
We've technically Ratar's still on the space station, right? So he can be telling us what's going on.
Yeah.
But are we hearing this from like news reports? Are we hearing it? Is it like
News
a big
reports.
deal on the planet? The planet's like some idiots. Something's gone horribly wrong up there, and
I guess the local people aren't. They sort of like.
Well, I guess if you're down on the planet, it doesn't really affect you until now, right?
A lot of them work up there, though.
Yeah.
Quite a few of them work up there. And
but
also,
are they sort of blaming the hierarchy of the space station, or are they? Yeah.
They're very much blaming the bosses. It's always the bosses' fault, aren't they?
Yeah.
And there's been a riot a few days later, on the particular day where Zim is maybe going to do this meal. There's a riot. There's only one restaurant open, and this is something Andy particularly asked for.
Yeah.
He said only one restaurant is open.
He's going to funnel all the food rations to like one place, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Because that won't cause a panic.
Yeah.
And there was a riot in the restaurant, and people were hurt. And
Was
also,
Raytar hurt?
Raytar was not hurt.
He is the most evil amongst all of us,
No.
including Bill, who makes unacceptable sexual advances, and Dax, who kills people.
But he's going to get arrested the day after, so it's not all bad news.
Oh, that's all right. Okay.
Um,
I guess another question is: is Raytar trying to spin this like, oh, I don't know what's going on, guys? No, or is he like letting us know? Do we think, well, it's just a coincidence that Raytar's up there? Are we like, hang on a minute?
He was communicating with you. He was telling you what he was doing.
So, oh god, we're just like, oh.
He didn't mention. To be fair, when I ran this scenario with him, he didn't mention you much.
No, well,
and if you'd said to him, would you like to tell them? Would you like to involve them? He'd probably just been like, no, I won't do that. No, I won't double check.
Yeah, I imagine Raytar saying, oh, everything's fine. No, it's going perfectly fine. Oh, these riots something to do with me.
He did. He said it was all totally fine. It's all in hand.
All right.
So so you better make a self-ontology roll then, Zim, to prepare this loving, well-crafted meal. And is it just going to be where you're going to serve this meal to it? In the galley, or in?
No, I'm going to go to her cabin.
Okay.
Or actually, because she's going to come to me as an appointment, isn't she?
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for
It
that.
won't be. Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for that.
Dinner.
And he's made your favourite meal.
You can do it in the.
I'll have you know, Zim's taken no fucking hypothetical oath. Of course, it's hypothetical. But
You two are the worst sex offenders in this game. Creepy motherfuckers.
I haven't died yet.
Are you going to serve this meal in the medical bay then? It's intimate. It's
like a kidney box.
What Zim has come up with?
Scalpel.
What Zim has come up with is the equivalent of a handmade deluxe. What's the planet called again?
Dolberg.
Dolberg. Equivalent of a Big Mac. The burger is made of aquatic insect legs compressed in a fine shrimp-like additive, with lots of sea greens as the lettuce, and a fine shrimp paste on a old-seeded pate bun.
It's a crab sandwich.
I love the idea that you give her diarrhea like a week before you give it to everyone else.
And also, most importantly, to aid her own native digestion, what the subspecies genus do is, like when shrimp and fish eat sand to clear out the so Zim is gonna look into refining some of this sand, very fine sand.
Got a side dish of pebbles for her.
Well, not for her, because what I want to do is take a sample of one of my her native shrimp, right, and keep it sort of on me, because when I squeeze it, it'll eject. Exactly, this is all part of the plan. And when you squeeze it, it ejects like a blob of silicate. So if that
semen,
I want to swear, if that gentleman with the mirrored shades starts giving me lip, I'm just going to spray the shrimp in his specs. And the high-grade silicate sand will damage his eyewear. Aye, get Specsavers now, you swine. And that's me being restrained. So there's the background. There's the nugget.
And this is going to take place in the medical bay.
at the appointment when she comes, because I'll have to role play the bit before I give her the present, just to make sure it's not too freaky.
I love this.
Okay, so we're in the medical
freaky
bay.
enough.
Yeah, just
You can tell I've had a good holiday, can't you?
You're there. You're there. Whereabouts are you there? Just place yourself.
spread eagled on the bed.
That's on the chair.
with
Good
one
idea.
Looking at her medical records.
So she comes in, and there she is. She's kind of got this gill cover on. She's very sort of pear-shaped, with kind of webbed hands, and you would guess feet, kind of duck-looking kind of feet. And she moves a bit kind of awkwardly.
Yeah.
You know, as like
completely different.
Imagine like a
field for it.
Yes, imagine like a
duck. Water.
Imagine like a duck waddling along a street. That's how she moves, and she kind of comes in. And what's this room looking like? Because it's a medical bay. What have you decorated it? Is there any candles? Anything?
No, what I've got is some of Astrogator Alusha's Usher recordings, which sound like sort of like classical whale sounds, set to a perky upbeat tempo,
to like a hardcore techno beat,
like a Evolution elevator music with a bit of a zesty pep.
If you hold on a minute.
With bubbles.
Where is the hold on? Let me just put it in.
Monkey.
Yeah, he's at the back just throwing the food that Zim made.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And the burger is in a sealed microclimate bag in my sterilisation unit.
Sweaty plastic bag of seafood.
Slightly warm, moist.
I've got some whale sounds. I've put them on.
There you go.
Of course you do.
Yeah. Just to set the scene, make it calming.
Hopefully they will play.
I can hear them.
Okay.
I'm in the mood.
I'm aroused already. Yeah.
So she walks in, and she's obviously come in expecting a medical assessment, and she comes in and she sort of like stops a little bit, and you can see she looks very flummoxed as to what's going on here.
Astrogator Osha. Perhaps I can take this opportunity to deeply apologise. My translation into your home language was somewhat rusty. Please sit down. I offer the chair bed thing to sit on.
Okay. So she sits on the edge of the bed, and she's like, this is a medical assessment. She looks at the food and listens to the music, and she's like, I didn't realise you were a fan of composer Nehu Mikimachumoka of my native world.
I enjoy the rich culture of many homeworlds and species, especially as we are linked so closely biologically.
Oh, that's the creepiest thing you've ever said to somebody.
It worked for my wife.
Dolbergians are human. We like to think of ourselves as human, transhuman, but still within the human family.
Pre-op or post-op?
Can you make a psychology roll, please?
Yeah. I think I may be rapidly out of my depth. And this time, I'm going to role play it. I'm going to use charisma, and I get no bonus for it. But I just want to role play it.
Good man.
You're going to use luck as well.
Come on, don't take the piss.
Success.
See, she looks a bit nervous.
Only a bit. That's a success.
Looks a bit nervous.
Just a light flirtation. Nothing kinky.
You can't really tell exactly why. She looks a little bit.
So I do apologise, Astrogator. I think we got off on the wrong foot. may I offer this as mine and recompense? It was my own recipe. I have tried my best. I would appreciate your opinion and give it a little polystyrene sealed sort of bag. I believe it's a delicacy. When you open it, you get a whiff of sea, salt water. And when you open it, you take it out, and it's slightly like the temperature of the tropical water of a homeworld.
I love. She sort of looks at it and starts kind of sniffing, snuffling it, and she's like, smells good. Can you make a self-ontology roll to see how good your recipe is?
I'm not going to mess around here. It'll be in education this time.
It's really good.
It's all
really
right.
Good. Yeah, it's good. No, it's good. She's like, it's good. It's the best I've tasted since I left my home. And
So kind.
She sort of looks around. She's kind of like really nervous. She's looking sort of side to side. She's sort of eating it. She's not really saying much, but
well, you see, Zim likes to play the fool, but when you play the fool, no one ever takes you seriously. So you can get loads of information about folk because they think they're more clever than you. You see, it's dead good. So this is what Zim is going to do. So Zim will just make small talk with them, but I want to use a bit of psychology to try and estimate her current sort of like level of, when you're saying like she was nervous, is that nervous because she's encountered me, which is quite right, and other ulterior things going on, with a little light probing, nothing naughty, just psychological light probing.
You made a psychology roll, and you couldn't quite tell. You definitely can tell she looks a bit nervous, but you can't really. I don't think I can let you make another one.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, she looks a bit nervous, but she's kind of like quiet. She's sort of eating her food quite sort of, quietly, and she's like, well, this is nice.
And then I'm going to do a medical record while she's sort of making it at ease, and just check it. That rash she's got on her gills, is that on her medical records?
It is on her medical records, yes.
What's it identified as?
It's quite complex, the record and the Dr. Bork's notes. Can you make a medical roll, please?
Yep, sure. I'll give them all a good stretch today. Intelligence. It's serious.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, it's basically, it looks like he thought it was some kind of chromosomal genetic abnormality. And that the people of Dolberg place great stock on genetic purity, which would be very much frowned on in her society.
Ah, right, I get you. She's a minority within a minority of a minority.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yes. Are you going to tell her that? You want to discuss it?
Well, I'll discuss with her the actual medical complaints, what effect it's had on her ability as an astrogator. Is there any medicine that the previous doctor has either synthesized for her or advised her to obtain, and then try and reassure her that this is something I will look into, and thankfully, being a xenologist, it should help come up with some sort of relative cure till we get to a homeworld, your homeworld, where I can do further investigation. You see, I've got a good plan.
She sort of nervously, if like you've got a bit of an unsightly feature and someone says, how long have you had that on your face? And she's suddenly just like really sort of aware of it, and she sort of raises her collar a little bit and she says, it's an affliction of my line, of my genus, but I hope I hope to have it corrected through genetic therapies soon.
I do have some degree of knowledge of xenobiology.
Have you got genetics as a skill?
She doesn't know that.
I've got science, xenology.
Or biology? You got biology, haven't you?
I've got biology, yes.
Okay, make a biology skill roll, please.
Okey-doke. And it's not great, but I'll just use me in.
I like the way Bill keeps going back and forward close. Okay, you think that to reconfigure basically like a recombinant kind of rewriting of her DNA would take some to eradicate that, take some serious tech.
And have I got an idea of a culture or world that would have that serious tech level that I could possibly do it?
Tech World might be able to do it.
Where?
Like, Tech World might be able to do it. Like, we're talking like, or Tobiah, like capitals, tech level 15, like it would be. You're basically talking about.
Let me to the Bahamas, baby.
You're talking about using a virus to rewrite someone's DNA, and if it was done, it would kill them if it was done improperly.
Well, funnily enough, that takes us back to the very first incident before I met Dax.
Oops. Sorry,
Oopsie. Everyone. Oopsie. So yeah, no, Zim is playing the long game and he's trying to be a nice person, even though he's totally amoral and devoid of any true emotion, other than he's almost like psychotic devotion to Dax and Bil. He's developing attachments to Kel, but he doesn't want to admit that yet because then Kel would fall under his bracket of protection.
You'll know when it happens, Kel, because he'll call you in for a medical exam and he'll have made your favourite food and he'll be playing your favourite music.
5 minutes.
Yep.
I just need to let one of the dogs out.
No worries.
Yeah, cool.
I could do with going for a quick win. You can grab a drink still.
Because I had to go for a brew anyway. Well then. All praise the chair. All praise the chair. No, it is all praise the chair because I can only see one chair.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Glasses. Oh, it's not doing. Get rid of that. You pumped for Saturday, Phil?
Yeah, I've still got to do quite a bit of prep, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be good.
Yeah, you're really good.
Um,
I've not done my image for my character yet.
Well, we'll be face to face, so it's not as essential as it would otherwise, you know.
I feel like I need to do it to gather it, to get his kind of feeling.
Well, I'll be sending you. If you can, an image would be good. A reason why you've been selected would be good. I'd like to see if we can sync up for an hour before Saturdays, just so I can run through the.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be with all of us. Just one or two would be fine, just so I can work out how the mechanics work.
Mm.
Yeah, well, we can do that.
But we'll discuss that at the end.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
In a quick session. I think an hour would be more than enough. Literally, like one round of rolling dice and a 20-minute chat was probably all we need. So.
Yeah, cool.
And if everyone can make it, that'd be great. If only one person can make it, that's doable as well. Because we could do it first thing on. It's just for the first hour on Saturday. I'm not constantly double checking and. Do you know what I mean? As long as I know what I'm doing, I'll be happy. But I'd like to run through it first, just so that I've got something to work.
Couple of notes. What do you think of Ostrogator OSHA?
I think she's a dirty.
I think
she spilled the beans onto the staff sergeant, didn't she?
Yeah, I also I'm more concerned. What do we think about Zim? But
Well,
yeah,
they deserve each other as far as I'm concerned.
they've obviously been looking for a reason to come for Kel, because when he was talking to Bill, he was like, "We go, we go, we go." You know, we've got something.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, it's not that surprising. It's slightly dodgy.
Yeah.
How we sort of infiltrated ourselves but
we've done well so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to investigate the guy who's been brainwashed. He's got a chip in his head. The Marine.
Salvador's.
Yeah.
I want to know how. I would like to know how he said, "Oh, I can get it to Exie," right? That was what he suggested. But I'm not sure what his plan to do that is, because at the moment we don't have a way to reprogram the ship's thing. So at the moment the plan is make everyone ship themselves and take over. But it would be good if we knew what Salvador's plan was, so that we can piggyback off it or help him or do what we need to do.
If he even knows.
Well, exactly. He might not even know. But I was just thinking to myself that would be something to keep an eye on. So maybe in the 5 days where Zim has been cooking up shrimp burgers, if there's anything that... The thing is, if he's got a chip in his head, he doesn't know what he's being controlled, he's not going to do anything dodgy, right?
He can't be being controlled directly because messages travel at speed of light. Yeah. So it must be like a programmed personality chip. So he's got some parameters in there by which he's operating.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so if there was a way to observe what he was doing or keep a track of his anything that was unsuspicious, I would do that. But I'm not sure there's a way to do that without causing suspicion on myself, if that makes sense. Anyway, maybe that's something to discuss next session.
Mr. Good. As you're expressing some interest to OSHA about this little genetic law she has, she brightens up a little bit and she says, "Is there? Do you think there's something you can do for me?"
I'm sure I could help Ostrogator.
Bom chicka wow wow.
Really?
Certainly.
Yes.
You are a serving member of the Imperium, as am I, Ostrogator. It is my duty and obligation to assist His Majesty's staff and crew in such a vital endeavour.
When you were on the bridge, when we were on the bridge the other day, you said you know what I'd done. What did you mean?
I think I was meaning to say about your hands, but the mistranslation I think was pockets, because the original intent was, I think, came over as what do you have in your pockets, when I really was making a social comment on the rather elegant things.
You're not making it better.
If I may be so bold.
Make a psychology roll, please.
Okay.
See if you can bullshit your way through this.
Battle there with science.
You mentioned the vault tour as well. I want to know how you're talking your way out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she sort of, she seems to kind of relax a little bit into your explanation, that she seems kind of like almost a bit kind of relieved. She's definitely holding something back though. She's definitely...
I mean, she said you knew.
She said, well, what about you on the Yeah. What did she say?
Dr. Zim is in, and he doesn't need to pursue at this point. Because how long have we got? How much time have we got now? Like weeks, yeah.
There's at least three or 4 weeks, I think, now.
Okay. So we're going to wrap your meal up. If you don't want to kind of push it anymore, we'll just...
I'll conclude the medical appointment,
Conclude the medical appointment, take some blood tests.
Yeah.
You've conducted your psych assessment.
I promise that I'll look into this as a personal matter of my own interest.
Yes. Okay. So with that little scene kind of closing there, is there anything you want to do, Kel, or should we go to cha cha cha?
No, do something, Kel.
Okay.
No, Kel, do something. I don't want to do this.
Okay, so we're going to go to cha cha cha. Okay, this is a... Right. Okay, so we're at the it's 24 million kilometers from the jump point to the small gas giant of Cha Cha Cha. 19 hours travel through space.
I don't like the change in music.
Yeah, in the jump 2, maneuver 2, thrust 2, capable, hopeful wanderer. We're in the forgotten dark of the Exy system, approaching the swollen gas giant, Cha Cha Cha. Now its surface is a churning mass of impossible blue storm systems. It's bloated, like something dying. Your sensors, or the sensors of the hopeful wanderer, show these great magnetic fields erupting, and intense auroras shimmer at the poles, kind of beautiful in a spooky kind of way. Now, Bill, you saw something strange lurking in the depths of this gas giant. Been hit before. It was massive. Alien. Is it still there? Behind you is the dim orange dwarf star Cha, and it gives off this insipid glow. And here we can see... Can you see this image here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we can see, hanging above the atmosphere, a station.
Ooh.
A shattered relic. It's got this kind of twisted frame, like the broken limbs of this huge insect. It's been smashed to pieces, ancient. It's been picked upon by wave upon wave of carrion feeders. Immediately, as you approach, pings flash on the sensor map. Bell shout calls back, breaker. I love that. breaker. We got 4 skyjackers on the drift by the rattle trap. Looks like they're ghosting. Got 1 clawboat, a couple of box runners, and a coffin crawler. Now the first ship to appear on the sensor map is a small, dart-like scout ship. It is the
Dancing spider. Yes, I was hoping so.
The dancing spider.
I was like, if this is just other random pirates, I may have just led everyone into a trap. If it's the dancing spider, we're cool. Right, okay. Dax will...
Next up.
Okay.
Whoa. Next up. Looks like a big, not super big, like a slightly bigger industrial... It's like an industrial salvage hauler. It's got two huge mechanical clawed arms and an angry, angular frame. This is the monkey business. Let me show you the monkey business.
Oh,
The
nice.
monkey business. There's the dancing spider. Next up, a green and grey Empress class far trader. She looks like an ordinary trader who's seen some action. This is the... Oops. Here we have... This is a ship called Sindal's Shame. And finally, emerging from behind the derelict, this large alien ship. It's got a dark, metallic, greenish hull. It looks like a carapace of like a big, almost like a big kind of crab-like creature. Weapon bays begin cycling, and you know this is an Aslan warship.
It sounds like...
This is the flagship. Yeah, this is the flagship of Royal Iron Tooth's fleet, the Meat Grinder.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Quick, attack it.
No, we're going to steal it.
Attack.
Oh, yeah.
You're being pinged.
Good. Dax will just nod to Belle and just say, I'll do the talking from here, darling. Once, if I can get Billum and I aboard, you two get out of here as quick as you can. You've done what you can do for us now. Don't stick around here. These guys are dangerous.
She sits back. You go for it, darling. You got the car. And you're being pinged by the captain of the monkey business.
Okay.
Let's just kind of... The meat grinder is just kind of hanging there, looking dangerous and threatening. And it's the captain of the meat grinder. Do you want him on screen?
Yes, please.
Get him on screen.
Here he is.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, right. New deal. I want him as my second lieutenant.
This is Captain Blackfur of the Iron Tooth crew. What the fuck are you wanting here? You better fucking turn tail and get out of here, boy, before you get squished. He wears like a red cap with like a Soviet kind of thing, and he's got like a black kind of military kind of fatigues on. Looks like a revolutionary.
Dax'll put himself on screen, and he'll just say, well, it's mighty convenient that I found you out here, because I'm looking for a little chat with old Hroll himself. I've got a proposition for him that concerns our mutual friend, Martin. Martin the second of his line, that is.
Who are you? Who are you to come marching into our manor?
I'm soon to be Pirate Lord Dax Gendar, but that's none of your business. I'm here to speak to your master.
Never heard of you.
You ain't heard of me yet, sonny, but you met me now. I'm looking for a chat with the mighty Aslan himself. I have a small business proposition for him which I think will be extremely profitable to his benefit. And if you don't like what I got to hear, I'm sure you got airlocks you can chuck me out of.
You think you slick, do you? You ain't even got the implants to hack a coffee machine.
I'm not here to hack a coffee machine, but I'd hack you, boy.
Wait.
takes his cigar out of his mouth and just blows like smoke into the sort of screen. You want a parlay with Irontooth, do you?
Oi, parlay, that's the word I would use.
What? You're captain of what ship? That shithole.
I'm no captain. I answer to no man, I commands no vessel right now. I'm here to take command of many vessels, but not yours. I'm going to bring you ships, and I'm going to bring you crews for them. But first I've got to talk to Hroll.
You mentioned a chap, friend of mine, Martin II.
Oi,
What do you know about him?
big fat yellow fella. Currently struggling to get out of bed. I understand he has a date here with Mr. Hroll. I'm here to see that he makes his appointment. I'm your new relief for that mission.
Nice.
Well, you know what we say, no questions, no snitches, just clean delivery. Let's see if you're reliable.
My aims proves that I
Flicks
am.
off the screen. It just hangs up. And then the 4 ships just kind of hang there. The sensors show weapon bays beginning to cycle up. They start adjusting their position, moving into a kind of attack vectors, but they're not actually attacking. But they're sort of starting to kind of space out, spread out a little bit, just get ready to kind of like attack you if necessary. 20 minutes later, maybe? It's all sort of radio silence. 20 minutes later, Blackfur comes back on. Moving to docking with the meat grinder.
Will do. And Dax he'll nod to Bell and Tyler, and again, once the comms are cut, he'll just say, he'll get them to mute the comms. He'll just say, soon as we've uncoupled, move out of here non-threatening like. I'm going to make sure they let you go safe.
They start to move in towards the meat grinder, which comes clear of the wreck of the old shattered station, and you link up. There's a docking tube extended, and you cross over to the airlock. Who's going in? Is it just you, Dax, or are you going in as well, Bill?
I think it's
I'm
got
following
to be.
Dax in all the way.
Yeah, no, it's a show of strength.
Show of strength, and we'll let Bell and Tyler get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, Dax will give Bell a quick hug, Tyler a handshake. He'll just say, "You've done me more of a solid than you can know. When I next meet you, I'll tell you the tale of this." And as he steps into the airlock, he's just going to look at the bear, take a deep breath, and he's going to stick the bear in his belt. Looks really incongruous and a little bit unprofessional, but it's just hanging in his belt as he goes in. No weapons
in the front
out.
of his belt, like over his crotch, or
like off to the side, like it's holstered, not like a posing pouch. That's inappropriate. I didn't grab his mother,
yes.
Her mother.
You sort of dock with the meat grinder, and you're in the airlock, and the door closes behind you, and the airlock door opens up. There's just the two of you. Bell says, "Listen here, Dex. I'm not happy about this." Oh God, what's their accent now? What was it? It's kind of like Southern
darling.
Kind of Hicks, wasn't it? Yeah, hey, darling. I'm not too happy about this. What we'll do, we'll just move around to the planet, just kind of cycle around there for a few minutes, for a few hours, and then we'll ping you before we head off. Okay?
Thank you. Appreciate that, darling. All I'll say, whatever you gotta do, keep yourself safe. Don't worry about us. We'll be back.
You guys stay calm there out there in the black, okay?
Always, my love.
So
we'll see you soon.
They break off. The airlock door opens up, and you're greeted by half a dozen rough pirate scum. These are some of the crew of the...
Oh, you bugger.
Okay, well, they're not all Aslan, that's good.
They all look human, to be fair. You're searched, patted down. They check you've got weapons on you.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Actually, no, they're going to... They check they've got weapons on you. What are they going to do? They're going to take the weapons off you? No.
Okay.
You can keep your weapons.
Okay. I was going to say, Dax had prepared for if they tried to.
What would they do? Would they take your weapons off you?
You tell me, GM. It's your pirate ship.
I think they take the ranged weapons off them.
Yeah.
Just so they don't, because they could send like a private pirate gang could have programmed somebody to go and shoot.
Yeah, just like a one-off. The only ranged weapon I've got is the body pistol, which is currently concealed in the small of his back, and it's a -2 check for them to find it.
Yeah, I think they would pat you down and say no weapons.
Dax ought to say, "Look,
you'll not be harmed."
So, and neither will anyone else. But I'm a fellow pirate, and I dealt with my fair share of Aslan. Now, Proll's going to have no respect for me if you let me go in there without a blade. I'm no threat to the mighty Kroll Irontooth. Ah, well, in that case, that's only fair. And Dax will take the body pistol. It's DNA locked, so nobody else can use it. And he'll hand over the body pistol. He's like, all I got's me mana blade.
You got any blades or melee weapons there, Bill?
Yeah, so I got my monkey knife. Let me double check what else he's got. I mean, that's mainly what he's got. He had the monkey knife and the came out with the bio gloop gun.
Yeah.
So checking. Yeah, he's not got any other blades. So yeah, he's just got the monkey knife and the goop gun. Gloop gun. Jesus.
So
I can't say it.
The gloop gun is taken off you.
Yeah.
They put all your guns in a bag and they stay pretty close. You can keep your blades on you. So you go into the interior of the Aslan ship, and it's not really like a ship that you've ever really sort of been in before. It's slightly oversized, and it makes some of the crew look a bit like little children in there. There's a lot of steps at the consoles and things like that. But like
little booster seats.
Yeah, little booster seats. It's got like weird, organic, curved designs, kind of gold and green details. Consoles look a bit strange and unfamiliar.
It's a bit like some of the architecture we saw at Ekka's Palace. That kind of curved Aslan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the crew line the corridors as you enter. There are dozens and dozens of them. I think this ship is about 2,000 tons. So whatever it is, 10 times
the size of the Harrier.
Yeah, and the crew line the corridors. You know when you go into, this is another nightclub thingy. You go into a nightclub and you get that feeling of threat.
Yeah,
we are fucking in danger
we're not
here.
in the right place. This was not a good idea.
Are fucked up coming in here. How are we going to you get that kind of imminent threat? They line the corridors and they just kind of stare at you, looking threatening. These guys have got fearsome faces. They're scarred and battle-hardened, and they're watching you with these baleful
space pirates.
Proper space pirates. These are fucking hard
I know
men and
space
women.
pirates.
Yeah.
Okay, you come to a door. We're going to go onto the bridge. We're about to meet the dread pirate lord, Kroll Irontooth. Are you ready?
I'm not, but let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely nervous.
Here we go. You step onto the bridge, and there, surrounded by his men, and lounging on, it looks almost like a throne, is the dread pirate lord Kroll Irontooth. He wears, it almost looks like a kind of spiny crown, and he's got thick dreadlocked hair decorated with pieces of silver. Each hand looks big enough to strangle a man, but it's his jaws. Monstrous, mechanical jaws.
Is it just the bottom jaw?
It's the top.
The top
it's
as well?
Sort of like, it's the top, it's the whole jaw. He says, well, what have we got here then, eh? Better run back to your cupboard door, little mice, or you get chomped good style. Do you want to see him?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
I don't know that I do. Okay. Well, this is good.
I think I've had a moment.
This is who I'm looking to ally myself with if I survive.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're good.
Defo.
Now, next to him, there's a few crew next to him.
Mm-hmm.
We have what was like an Aslan female.
Okay.
Don't let Zim see her.
She's sort of stood slightly to his right. We have... There's a kind of robot.
Okay.
That's a cool robot.
It is.
There.
Looks a bit like one I chopped up once with a monoblade. That is not the plan here.
The rest of the room has got probably about a dozen crew in there. They kind of... You walk into the middle and they file in behind you.
Yeah.
And they've got you totally kind of surrounded. What have you got to say for yourselves then, eh?
Dax is just going to...
some more manner.
Dax is just going to spread his arms out wide, and he's going to make it very obvious the monkey knife that's just sitting below his right hand is there. His sort of bit of respect from a previous Aslan. Again, this guy's a pirate lord. He's not Ayatai. He's not, part of the higher eight. But it's that sign that I have met an Aslan, and he wears it with pride. And he's just going to say, "Mighty Thrall, I'm not here to waste your time, but you got a little situation with Martin II. I've come here on behalf of Laurie Hanshaw. I'm taking over her side of the deal. I'm the man who's going to make sure that ship makes it to Exie for you, so you can rob it."
Hanshaw? What do you know about Hanshaw? What do you know about the Martin II?
Let's just say you and I are in the same business. Not in the same league, of course, my lord, but in the same business. We had designs on that ship ourselves. Turns out you got a job going on there already. I've become quite close with Laurie. She tells me you have something of hers that she'd like back. Now, I've come with a proposition. We can get you that ship. We can get you a lot more than that ship. But there's a couple of things I'm going to need from you. And then we'll make sure that ship makes its way to Exie, and you get the fair share of the loot.
Proper Burt Lancaster, mate. I love it.
He's just very, very Dax, very relaxed. Inside, he's absolutely bricking it. He wants to pull out his harmonica.
What do I have that you want?
You got a couple of things that I want. Now, the first of them, I'd like a split of the contents of that treasure ship. We put a lot of work into getting that loot too, and without someone to get it here, with respect, Hanshaw can't do it. She can't do it without Felmar, and he's dead now. I suspect you know that. We saw the dancing spider. We saw the message go between the ships. You know what's going on down there. And I think that Salvadez may be a little plan to your own. I'm not quite so stupid as I look, despite the fact I just walked onto your bridge. There's one part of the plan, and that's the Martin II. I got a couple of provisos. I want to see Hanshaw's daughter. My intention is to take her back safe. And my crew and I would like a little bit of a cut of the loot. But I got something else to offer you. Something far more valuable than the contents of any Imperial treasure ship. That one's a conversation for a very private audience. But it's between you and I can offer you something much more valuable to a pirate lord.
There's a low, rumbly growl, almost metallic, comes out of his kind of throat. Got his interest. What did you say? Did you say about the daughter? Did you say about the daughter?
I said I wanted to see the daughter, and my intention was to leave with her.
Why would I give up my bargaining chip?
You don't need a bargaining chip. Laurie's not in play anymore. She's out of a league. They weren't expecting the ship to crash on Aranasir, and neither were you. She doesn't know how to get it back flying. My pirate crew do. They're on the Martin II right now, working on getting her back into space and getting her over here. But they don't bring her here to you, unless I say so. Unless I got what I need out of the deal. We work together on this, we all get rich. And I can make you more than rich.
Dax, you smooth devil.
So they enhance shores out of the equation, eh?
She's
out of play.
Well, she's not in a position to help you. On her own, she does not know how to get the ship back in the sky and over to Exy. My crew can do that. We've already infiltrated the highest levels of command on the ship. Word from me, they can get the ship over here, and you can carry on with whatever part of the plan you had to take the contents of that vault.
Sort of looks over at his exo. You gather it's his exo stood next to him. They kind of like look to each other. I'll give you 5%.
Ah, that's extremely generous of you, my lord, and I appreciate it. I was thinking more like 50. But now, I know, I'm not in a particularly good position to bargain with you. You give me 5 minutes of your time, with only me and your most trusted crew here, because I got a secret for you. I can give you something far bigger than the Martin II, but this bit of information's for your ears only.
You can see he's piqued his interest. He looks round at the crew. You heard him, you fuckers. Back off and get out. And he kicks them all out. They all sort of file out, taking the guns with them. They look a bit unhappy about it. They do all kind of file out. The exo stays there, and so does the droid.
Yeah.
But all the rest of the pirates that file out, and the door slides shut behind you. He goes and he says, "Keep talking. I'll wire your vocal cords to a distress beacon and dump you on a pirate moon. I come up with something real juicy."
Well, you want juicy, I got juicy. Now, I appreciate the level of trust. Me and my companion here were no threat to someone as mighty as you, my lord. So you've nothing to fear from us. However, the one thing that I see that a Pirate Lord Ative might want, and I know this, because my intention is to become one, and we're going to get to this. But the thing to my mind that a Pirate Lord Ative may want is not to be a Pirate Lord Ative, but to be the Pirate Lord Ative. And I can get you that. You see, I spent a bit of time on Teve. My friend Billum and I here both have. And we found out a dirty, dirty little secret. One that got us barred from the place for over a year. You've got an Imperial agent working as one of the highest pirate lords there is, commanding the biggest, most powerful fleets. I think he doesn't deserve that crown. I think, my lord, you deserve that crown. You deserve his fleets. You deserve his crews.
Who are you talking about? Let me say the words. Let me hear you say the name.
I think you know, but for the sake of complete transparency between us, I'm talking about Admiral Darrakin. I have it on good authority. The man is an Imperial agent. Now that to me is a weasel sitting in a den of thieves. And as a man who's been a pirate all his life, it makes me fucking sick. Now, I appreciate I've come out of nowhere and you ain't never heard of me. Why on earth am I going to gift you Darrakin? Why am I going to help you take down the man? And what the fuck am I going to do that the mighty Hrol can't do? What I can do is I can take him down from the inside. I can take all the risks. Never gets traced back to you, my lord. And the reason I want to do this is I want to be a Pirate Lord Ative myself. The way I see it, if I can get the evidence, and I know where the evidence is supposed to be kept, if I can get the evidence, if I am the one to make it public and take that risk, if I can turn his crews and take his assets and hand them over to you, you become the most powerful pirate lord in all of Teve. Now me, what do I get out of this? I get to be a minor, lesser pirate lord. One who perhaps operates under and for yourself. To get a chance to share in greatness to live my own adventure. That's my proposition to you. We share the Martin II 50-50. You release Laurie's daughter. I give you the Martin II, but in time, I'll give you Teve.
They say the vault on the Martin II is impregnable. Can you open it?
It's not impregnable, my lord. Now, I thought maybe you had a plan for this. But no, it's not impregnable. What it needs is to be in the right place at the right time in order for it to open. I know the system. I don't yet know the location, but I can find it. We've got assets in the crew, like I say. There's something going on board that we've discovered. Somebody is working on finding out where that location is, narrowing it down. I had assumed that was you, my lord. But if not, we can help you get that information. Now, the system, we know that. It's the system in the Aslan highway, isn't it?
That's where it's supposed to open.
Yeah, that's where it's supposed to open. So, like I say, I'll tell him that we know the system where it's supposed to open. We're still trying to find the precise coordinates and the time, but we're working on it. So what I'll say to him is the challenging part, the thing that's above the scale of the operation we got going on, is once we get that ship here to you, they're going to come looking for it. It's going to take some defending to get that fat bastard across space to the right place and time to open that vault. Unless we can get it to somewhere with enough technology to fool the vault. I'm thinking Teve may just be the place to do that. We can fool the vault into thinking that's where it is and that's when it is. It'll pop open like a jeweler's locket.
Nice.
This is my offer. Deliver the Martin II. Pop that lock like a prossy's back pocket. We'll split the contents 50-50. Deliver Derek in. And we'll talk about the other.
That seems like a fair deal to me, my lord. Consider me your humble servant. Now, about Laurie's daughter.
Let me just, where is she? He presses a little button on his wrist. A little side door opens up. It's hard to even tell it's a door. It's kind of built into the curvature of the wall.
Yeah.
And a little girl comes running out.
Oh my god. Oh god, she's so young. I thought she was like a teenager. Oh, I'm glad we did this now.
She's young.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
she's like 4 or 5. She comes kind of running out. She looks healthy. She looks well.
Good.
And she comes kind of like, she comes out and she looks a bit kind of like scared.
And Dax will just pull the bear out of his waistband and he'll kneel and just lean out and offer her the bear at arm's length. Just say, yeah.
Her eyes kind of light up.
You say, your mother
What's the bear
sent me.
called? What's the bear called?
The bear's called George.
George. She says, George!
Is-
George!
Your ma sent me. She said you'd be missing George, and I was to bring him back to you, darling. If you'd like him, he's yours.
She comes running over and she snatches George and gives it like a big cuddle. And she looks scared, but she looks unharmed. And she looks healthy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, she looks fine.
And Dax will turn to Irontooth. He'll say, you are, my lord, a powerful Aslan, but a creature of honor, a man with a code. And I respect that. Now, are you happy for me to leave here with this girl and get back to the job of getting this ship to you?
Almost.
Okay.
One thing. You two. I suppose you're speaking for the two of you. Your second mate there hasn't said a peep.
I'm mighty sorry, my lord. This here is my pilot and closest friend in the galaxy, the mighty Bil and Valeris. And Dax will just step back a little bit, and he'll just gently lead the girl by the shoulder to sort of come with him and just hold her back from the two of them.
Billum sort of steps forwards in front of Dax and the girl, and he's like, "We'll get you a ship. We're men of our words. I trust you'll keep your word, or we'll have to come looking for you."
This man does not speak for me and my organisation.
He chuckles to himself. He says, "Well, I'm fucking quaking in my fucking boots, I am. Now, if you guys are going to work for me, we're going to be partners. You're going to have to play the game. I'm a creature of... I like a game of chance." And he reaches into his pocket and he places down on a table or something. So maybe some kind of terminal. 2 little cubed, like little bone kind of cubes. And he goes, "See, we have little challenges if you're going to join our crew that you might have to partake in. See, can't choose what it is, see, you've got to let the dice decide. So if you want in, you've got to roll the dice, do the challenge." So can you roll 2d6?
Dax will step straight up and he'll just look him straight in the eye and he'll say, "Thank fuck, I was starting to wonder what kind of pirate operation you were running here without some dice rolling around. I'd be more than pleased to, my lord. Let's see what fate has in store for me today." Double 6. That's either really good or really bad.
Yes.
Oh no. Oh no, it's not good. It's not good.
You put it on a table, it will happen.
It's sort of... It says here... Got his little book there. "You've got to eat our last recruit. Now, we don't have to say you have to kill him. We didn't say you didn't. Now, where is that last recruit?" And he presses a button, and out comes our last recruit.
Oh.
This is Black Annie.
Oh
They
god.
eat or eat out.
He wasn't specific.
In the rain
He wasn't
and the
specific.
snow and eating black hags.
It doesn't say eat or eat out. It just says
eat
the captain's last recruits. We didn't say you had to kill him, but we didn't say you didn't. That's your challenge. We'll narrate that next week.
Oh my
next time.
god.
Bill, do you want to join? Do you want to be part of this operation? You have to roll, aren't you?
I prefer a leg myself or a wing.
It's like,
Roll
you let
2d6.
dice make your decisions. As he picks up the dice,
Go on.
it looks
Snake eyes.
kind of
Nah.
Go on,
just,
Philip. Snake eyes.
Nah, dice are going to make your decisions.
Snake eyes. Snake eyes. Snake.
6, 7,
they're both straight in the middle.
It's alright. That's all. Aye, like you said, on the curve.
No, I don't think any of them are good. So, like, bake me a souffle.
Well, I don't know. It can't be much worse than yours, though, right? Surely.
Oh, never say that.
8. See, Port Victoria got a governor, yeah? It's got a governor, hasn't it? Stands to reason. You've got to seduce the station governor's spouse.
Oh my
Now.
god. Oh my god. Yours is
Gen-
worse.
Gender doesn't matter. Do it in his office. Bonus if you wear his robe, the governor's robe.
got this.
It turns out that Raytar is not going to get us into the most trouble in a high port.
I've never heard anyone say I've got this with less convincing manner. Now, no time schedule on this, but you've got to make the opportunity. So we'll do something with that at some point. I'm not going to kind of rush on that.
Oh.
So there's your missions: eat the captain's last recruit and seduce the station governor's spouse.
And then we're in the crew, and we're going to get this thing robbed. Now Dax wants to just talk to him. Dax is grinning through all of this. He's done pirate initiations before. They've not always been quite so challenging or interesting, but life throws at you what it throws at you. You know, he came here to face down Kroll Irontooth, and this is not the worst outcome that he imagined. It's not great, but it's not the worst. But what I do want to do is just iron out a couple of little details, because he doesn't know how to open the vault, and the deal is we've got to get the ship and get it to Exie and then pop the vault. Now the vault is not going to pop in Exie, so
no.
I want to say I sort of want to talk to him and say, what was your plan once the ship was at Exie, my lord? Because as I see it, we can either bring the ship here to you, and then between us we can get it to somewhere where we can either hack the vault, or we can take it to the system where it's meant to open. Now they're going to be expecting it there, so maybe we take it back to Teve, we try and hack it there. Or I've seen the vault, it's fucking huge. I'll talk about him.
You get the impression, without me sort of role playing the whole kind of scene, is that he thinks that once you've got the ship, the captain can open the vaults.
Right, yeah.
But you get the feeling he doesn't know about
the code lock,
sort of time lock thing.
Yeah.
Time lock and all that kind of stuff. So he thinks like, oh, we've got the vault, we've got the captain, he can open it.
This is it's a comparable sized ship, this, to the Martin II, isn't it? But obviously it's not laid out as a cargo ship. So Dax wants to know, is there any possibility that we could take the vault into the meat grinder? Is there anywhere in the meat grinder that could store something as large as the vault? Seems unlikely. And he doesn't.
The vault's built into the ship.
And he doesn't. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to propose to him. I would say, look, given what we know, I don't think bringing the ship here to Exie is necessarily going to get us what we want. We want what's in that vault. I think we either take it to Teve, or we take it to its destination in Aslan space, and we try and get it to pop there.
Can't go to Aslan space.
Nah. Well, I think the Imperials will be looking for it at its destination anyway. You know, they know that's where it's programmed to open. But if we could get it to Teve, I know one of the secret refueling points on the way. We've been before, Bill and I. We could get that ship to Teve, give ourselves some time. Long as Darakin doesn't find out, the Imperials won't find out. We can then crack the vault there.
He tells you that his plan, the plan basically was to when they jump, was that Martin II was going to jump to the gas giant moon where you are now. It was going to basically like count as a missed jump, and then they were gonna basically blow the ship up and just kind of lose it.
Just take what was in there, yeah.
Just take everything that was in there and force the captain to
open the vault,
which he won't be able to do because it's not in the right place. I think we'll finish our session there, gentlemen, because it is 11 o'clock, and I'll let you have a little think about whether what you want to do in terms of, do you want to bring it to Exie? Do you want to try and get it to go somewhere else?
Yeah.
And if you want it to go to Teve, how you would get it there, because it's a bit of a roundabout way.
Well, it's not too bad, is it? Because there's the secret refueling point, like a jump out of Teve, which is, it's 2 jumps out, but actually this is a 3-jump ship. We might be able to make Teve anyway. So last time we went to Teve, we jumped from Noricum to the hidden refueling point, which was here.
The hidden refueling point is...
it's that one. Sorry, yeah. So we either went Borite or Noricum to here,
Borite.
and Then right, yeah. So we went Borite to here, then up to Teve. Well, with the Martin II, we could technically go Borite to Palindrome to Teve, although going the hidden refueling place would be better. The only risk is if it's not operational in the last year, we're stranded in space forever and die.
You won't be able to get to Borite because that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah, we'd have to jump Exocet, Borite, and then up. You know, we'd have to make a bit of a. We could go Aralasir to Lilgan to Boulder to Palindrome. You know, take a bit of a roundabout kind of route. And if we're scooping for fuel outside systems and hiding our tracks as best we can, and if we did like Lilgan, Boulder, secret refueling point, we're only actually entering 2 known systems, and then up to Teve. And it's well off both the trade routes.
We don't have to decide it right now, do we?
No, we don't. But that's going to do. Dax would like to make the point to him that he, and obviously Bill, if Bill is willing to do his trial, Dax is more than happy to join Iron Tooth's crew as a as one of Iron Tooth's guys and do it. But he's going to say that he's not the rest of my crew, although we'll do what we can.
Your crew.
Yeah, my crew will make their own decisions as to their loyalties, but they will get the ship to you if you can help us split the contents 50-50. After that job, only Dax is going to stay loyal for the rest of the plan, unless anyone else wants in taking down Darakin, because ultimately it's his personal quest for Pirate Lord of Teve.
Okay. So what I thought we could do, because obviously it's Sunday, it's RPG night, like 3 nights or something like that, is we could just do like a micro session on Wednesday, because I'm keen to do Phil's game prep for Saturday, because you want to do that sort of bit of game prep, because we might not necessarily be able to do it, but I don't know, we could do a normal session on Wednesday. I guess it would depend whether it involves a lot of kind of planning and logistics, or whether depending on what you want to do, it might just be a micro session, because I might have to do some prep.
Yeah.
Depending on what you sort of want to do.
It feels like we're getting close to penultimate sort of kickoff
on this. Yeah.
So what we'll probably do next session is we'll finish this session, we'll take you back.
We need to get everyone together so that we can tell them and we can come up with a plan together for what we do.
Yeah, so you can have a think about that. I don't want to rush into that decision.
Yeah.
But we can lay out what the options are and work out what we want to try and get sorted.
So we might just do like a short session on Wednesday, have a bit of a planning session. And
I think we might have to just sort of retcon crunch the conversation that was had with Iron Tooth, because obviously logistically we can't then just radio him and go, this is what we're doing. We'll have an agreement with him, but we'll sort of metagame it maybe after we've had our discussion as to that's what I proposed to him. I'm going to have to eat his crew member first.
You're going to narrate how that goes.
He did not look tasty.
Depending on
to find out how much you need to eat of it.
I'm so happy that you did that.
Depending on how I choose to satisfy that mission, I might be very broad brushstrokes, because you're not going to want to hear the graphics. Depends whether I fancy chopping an arm off or whether I'm just going to go with the less appealing but more obvious route.
You know, it reminds me of, what was that film where the guy is forced to go down on his landlady and she goes like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
was it? Woody Harrelson, wasn't it?
It's just a Hell's Angel initiation ceremony.
Or something like that, is it?
Yeah, it's a Hell's Angels initiation ceremony.
Dax has been with worse.
And we've got Bill, the least likely person to seduce the stationer's governor's spouse.
I don't know. He just seduced Laurie with an inappropriate sexual advance. All he's got to do is just grab her and kiss her. That's what women like.
Inappropriate sexual advance. It was a positively pleasant goodbye.
It was, but you yourself said he's gonna take the wrong size and do something really inappropriate. That was your wording.
To be fair.
This recruitment tables are really fun. So you've got a spacewalk strip down, depressurize the lock. You've got 30 seconds to get your gear on.
Ooh, okay.
Kiss the plasma beast. There's a caged monster in the cargo hold.
I think
feed it with your mouth.
I think I'm going to kiss the plasma beast next week, but all right.
There was a smuggle a microfusion bomb inside you. We've got a tiny unstable bomb. We want it off world. We ain't giving you a bag.
Worn a sausage belt through customs.
This one would have been good for Bill to do. Win a fight in 0G blindfolded. Spin the room. You go in with a vibro knife and no eyes. Drink the reactor brew. Distill a broken radiation coolant pipe. One shot, keep it down or you're out. Talk a customs AI into suicide. Convince the orbital inspection AI that life is pointless. Bonus if it weeps.
Wow.
Got the station government spouse. Steal a ship while it's still docked. Duel a cyborg with a spoon.
Wow, we got off quite lightly, really.
It'd have to be a really, really big spoon.
The crew's favourite murder bot is bored. You get the spoon. Let's see your style.
Mono spoon.
Monofilament spy, monofilament soup spoon.
Dax is going to take his monoblade, take the spoon, and just monofilament the edge.
Right, guys.
Super scoop.
Oh, dude.
Amazing.
We'll call it a night. I'll leave that map on the landing page open so you
Thank you.
kind of like
That
plan at all.
That was genuinely terrifying.
That was,
You built the tension to that encounter with
It was an
Paul.
outstanding session. That's what that was.
Oh, that
Was it
Rob,
terrifying?
Yeah.
Mike, outstanding play there, mate. Matching GM play. Do you know what I mean? Both of you. It's the whole reason I like playing RPGs, mate.
I was hoping it would be terrifying.
it was genuine. I mean, I've been genuinely nervous about that all day. And there was a point in the session where I was like, "Oh, we're getting low on time. Maybe we won't do it this week. It'll be okay." And I'd written myself a few notes. I was like, "Remember, this is what you're going to do. This is the proposal." And I went in there, and my hands were shaking like that. I was like, "Okay, Dax is nervous, but I'm nervous."
I watch this on YouTube.
Well, I have recorded it. I will end the recording, and we can all watch it back. I'll get it uploaded ASAP. Thank you, boys.
Really,
That was great.
Really, really good game tonight.
Nice guys.
Yep.